Welcome, Wolfpack. Welcome. What is it, the 6th of December or something like that? 6th of December 2024. You know how we do. It's Drew with the Sigma Prepper channel. Thank you to each and every one of you for coming and joining us and spending your Friday night, depending on where you are in the world. Don't forget, 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern time is how we're rocking tonight. And typically, that's the time to expect for me. So, what are we talking about? Well, as you've probably figured out, judging by the thumbnail, we did do the show last night. We had I'm just trying to pull the right page up. But last night we did this looking into what was going on with Funky Prepper. I had lots of people asking me, and I was making reference to this video that came out recently, which I've got here, which we can get into, right? So for those that I appreciate, not everybody would have seen that video. It's the one with sorry, let me get into the right folder. Yeah, so the one with the go to jail run, right? So that's basically how we rolled. And there was so many comments. I was supposed to be looking through the comments. Someone said to me, whatever you do, Drew, look through the comments on the video for this guy here, right? So this video from Richard Vobes, right? And I didn't actually go through it, and I had quite a few comments on my video as well. So what we'll do is we'll go through those comments live tonight, and tonight's show is a little bit more of an opportunity for you to be able to get involved in the live chat, because last night I was just blasting out and I wasn't really following the live chat. So first and foremost, thank you to each and every one of you joining us tonight. Robert McNamara, I think, was first in the chat tonight. Great to see you, my man. Sandy, thank you for being with us. John C, thank you so much. Most recent patron, VIP supporter, and of course thank you as well for your order earlier. I saw that coming in, so appreciate that, man. Miss Worm as well with us, thank you for being with us. And let's have a look, skip through, see if we can get to people. Daily Survival, moderator of all moderators, is with us tonight as well. Pedigree Mongrel, let's go, 990 subs. I know it's bad, isn't it? This channel's been held back for so long, it's not even funny, but you know, I get it. And people whoever get it as well also get it. UK Urban Prepper, Bush, great to see you, my man, and great friend of the channel. You should check his channel out as well. Hawkins as well, A Hungry Tourist, Polonium, Kaza, my favouriteest person in London, great to see you. And thank you to everyone for being here, really appreciate you spending this time. And again, yesterday we sort of broke it down in terms of what my skepticism was as to what the story was with Funky Prepper, where he'd gone to, and the fact that he's missing. And I've had a lot of people ask me, and so thank you as well, Dr. Gonzo. Sorry if I'm missing you. And Magic Hand, Mrs. Sigma Prepper in the house. Great to see you, my darling. So yeah, basically it was a. If you haven't seen that show, then I appreciate you might know what's going on today, but it's just. And we're running the live poll again, so we did have the live poll rocking. Refer to the Discord server, you're more than welcome to join, it's completely free. But I posted we had the live poll yesterday. What do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? This is version 2 poll, right? Either kicking it in the Caribbean, personal/health issues, arrested by the police on bail, or banned from YouTube as claimed. So that was basically the poll that we had running yesterday. We're running the poll again today because I purposely didn't show you the results yesterday because I wanted to see how yesterday and today's differed. After people had a little bit of time to digest the video and what I put forward and what my assertions were and where the things for me didn't add up, it was important for me to just let people sort of watch the video again or go and watch Matey Boy's video and make their own decisions as to what they think about what the situation is, right? And when I say Matey Boy, I'm talking about Richard Vobes here. Now, I'm not super familiar, and you know, again, I repeat myself, but it's important for those that haven't seen the video from yesterday. It is in the description below, and if you're watching this afterwards, then check out Pilgrim, latest subscriber. Thank you also to Noose and Bermuda Railway and Pilgrim for our latest subscribers, and laughs me for your Streamlabs super chat yesterday. Thank you for helping to keep the lights on. Talking of which, love, peace and progress to the pack. Really appreciate you being with us. Cheers, everyone. Oh, and thank you to Della as well for the Christmas mug merch, for the official mega mug merch. Appreciate it, my darling. Thank you so much, everyone. You've been such a wonderful bunch. Such a great wolf pack. Making the place what it is. Talking the place what it is, again, do get yourself joined up on the Discord server. Just like Trucker Tony, we've got to say welcome to our newest friends in the Single Prepper server. We got as well Mongoose and Annie and George and the Red Hood. So thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you joining in the fun. And of course, don't forget, you got all the prepping intel in there. You got your food storage, everything you need to know. You got food growing. You got cooking tips. You name it, it's in there. Health and medicine. Whatever you're looking for, protection and security. Lots of things in there to help you. And it's a great place to get answers. Just like Osprey here, asking about, you know, unfortunately, my neighbour had some tools pinched from the shed recently, looking for a wireless solution that doesn't use mains power. And fun enough, Dave K, thanks, my man. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. Really appreciate you subscribing. You're going to need to do the bell notifications because you know who has a habit of un-you-know-whatting you, right? That's all I'm going to say. But this video here, ironic, is one I did on my wild solo camps where I use little wireless doorbell PIR motion sensors. There's a video on my channel. It's worth watching if you're into that. And I use these as little stealth, my little PIR motion sensors. But these things are good for like 100 meters, lich. Like wireless range, couple of AA batteries in the back of the receiver. Bing, bing. So hopefully, Osprey, that will give you the perfect solution. But that's just an idea of what I'm talking about with the wealth of knowledge base here, because people come in here, ask questions, bosh, there's always someone who knows something about something who's going to let you know score. Thank you for sharing your loved ones as well. We're all animal lovers here, so thank you for sharing your pets. I was going to get one of Hugo Bear. He's actually, I did have the Hugo cam set up, look. It's here waiting, but Hugo's not there. Unfortunately, he might come in, we might have Hugo Bear in here for part 2. This is what Hugo Bear did to a toilet roll. Thank you for sharing your loved ones. And again, Scottish Prepper there with his beautiful huskies. This is my doggy on the left, Hugo. Yeah. I'll show you what Magic Hand put a really good, Mrs. Single Prepper, she put a really good, that was one when he's on my lap, look. So that's Hugo. He's a 62 kilo, 130 pound South African Mastiff. And he's usually part of the show, so we'll have him as well. But what we're going to be doing, a couple of things. We might do also a global threat analysis, because there's a few things I'd like to share with you. So we'll space it out a bit. So here's how it's going to roll. We're going to have a little look and just a quick recap from the video yesterday, just for those that are joining us who haven't perhaps watched the video, although I've linked it in the description below. We're going to run through that briefly, brief rundown, but what I want to do really today is to look at the comments that people are saying in various different videos, including the one I did yesterday, because I apologize for those who I haven't replied to yet. We're going to do that live, right? So I haven't looked at them. I've had 1 or 2 comments pop up on my smart device where, you know, you get to see like the first like 10 words or something. So I've got a rough indication of a few of them, but it's going to be kind of going in blind. So do bear with me. This is how I like to do it live. No excuses, right? No rewind. No do it again. So thank you for those that are joining me. Be patient with me, but this is going to be important because I think we need to put this to bed because, again, full disclosure, I didn't have a great experience of Funky Prepper back in the day. People sent me videos saying he was sort of seemed to be copying me in a lot of things I was doing. Some of my phrases, some of my titles of the shows I was doing and all these other things, right? And even the topics. And that's how he came up on my radar. But for those that don't know, there was the instance I mentioned the other day where he was giving some bad advice as a bit of a sort of copycat prepper who just sort of listens to some other prepper give bad advice. And I come from like a electronic and software engineering background, so it's like there's a saying, bad data in, bad data out. Do you know what I mean? So it was like one of them, right? And as I joked about, I even knew the misinformation video that he'd even got that information from and just passed it down. And it's actually bad news. It was something that is like in prepping, as I mentioned, prepping's a tricky thing. You've got to be careful because this is life and death stuff, right? You can have someone log themselves out of the admin without even meaning to, right? If you follow the wrong advice. This is in a survival scenario. You've got people messing around with, I don't know, you've got people messing around with indoor gas heaters or cookers or something, and you haven't mentioned about carbon monoxide sensors or something like that is one thing, right? Or encouraging people to start swinging axes around willy-nilly, right? And so the worst thing is this particular video, he was giving something that was actually going to be harmful with how much he was supposed to put in, and it was 10 times what you should. And I made a comment saying, dude, you know, that you only need a tenth of that. People are going to poison themselves doing that. And he literally removed my comment and banned me from ever putting a comment on his channel for trying to help his viewers to not poison themselves. So that was kind of like that's all I kind of needed to know about him at the time. So I don't really have a dog in the race. I've never followed him or subscribed to him. But more recently, I've had so many people, and particularly from our friend UK Urban Prepper Mike, since being on his show, because my channel's been extremely slow growing. I've come from other channels I had problems in the past. And so when Mike from UK Urban Prepper, I was on his show as a guest, and I think he's got quite a few of his own subscribers that actually came from Funky Prepper Darren originally. And so some of those have kind of now bled onto my channel, which I was, you know, it wasn't a big portion of my subscribers at all. I'm kind of like the opposite end of the scale to him, as I mentioned yesterday, right? Funky Prepper is like the caricature of what preppers think preppers are, right? And the whole point of Sigma Prep is to get away from that. It's all about, no, normal people, normal working class people who just want some leverage, who don't have big families, big networks. They don't have some compound where everyone's a commando. You know what I mean? It's like realistic things that people who don't have mixed martial arts experience and stuff like that can, you know, realistically have a better chance of surviving a scenario or a crisis than the average Joe, whether that's a grid down scenario or a flood or whatever it might be, right? And so it's just a different way of looking at things. And the reason I do solo wild camping and stealth camping is because that's my own bug out simulation, so that I can test gear, so that I can pass on to you guys how difficult that is and what you need to know and the skills you need to have to perform that successfully, consistently. And therefore, if I can do that on my own with my equipment, I can theoretically do that for my family and loved ones, as I would hope to be able to enable you to do as well. But there's a big difference between that than continually riling people and, you know, this panic and fear thing. This is exactly what I've tried to avoid with my channel, is because, and those that subscribe to me will know that, and people say it's refreshing because we have a laugh, you know, we don't take it too seriously, but we take it seriously enough to understand the risks ahead, and therefore the more we have an understanding of the risks out there, and the more we have an understanding of the threats that we face, then the better chance we've got of preparing and protecting ourselves and mitigating against those threats that we just understand are there, right? So there is value, right? There's value in understanding what's going on in the world, from what's going on in the news, what's going on, and so on. Like that. I'm just going to dial into the Sigma Prepper website quickly, right? Because again, this is just recapping and covering a few things that I mentioned yesterday. And so, for example, on the SHTF Intel, it'll give you the breakdown of all the stuff going on in order of what's already hitting the fan or will be. And again, we joked about the totalitarianism thing, because again, what can you do about it? You know, to be honest, that causes most of these other things anyway, right? But the point is, there's some things on here that you can't do anything about, and it's pointless fighting, one of them being the top one, right? So we have to look at the things, that are actually something that's an ish. So there's no point preparing for a UFO alien invasion or a meteorite impact. Apophis 2029 maybe, right? But I'm just saying, there's no point worrying about these things. Pole shift, pole flip, you know. A zombie apocalypse, in fact, is more chance of a zombie apocalypse than a pole shift, believe it or not, right? But the point is that you've got all these different threats that we're facing. So it's about focusing on these ones that we can really do something about and be you know, diligent about, and of course, you know, be more strategic in our approach to preparedness, so that we're not wasting money on things for things that might happen down here. Ever, never, you know what I mean? And then rather than that, and not worry about things like right at the top that we can't do anything about anyway, right? And this is where matey boys come unstuck. This is where funky preppers come unstuck, right? Because you get caught in this trap where you feel like the only way you can build your audience is to, and the only way you can get in front of them is to be continually talking about what's going on in the news, to make people feel like, I mean, the example in in high-level sales psychology is the same as like when you're selling drills. When you're selling drills, you're not selling the drill. What you want to do is to sell the hole that the drill makes, because people don't buy a drill because they want a drill. They buy a drill because they want a hole in the wall. Do you know what I mean? And so people fall into this trap of thinking, oh, I've got to sell the holes. I've got to sell the holes. You know what I mean? I've got to, which in the prepping survival land, in terms of creating your own industry, is to create the fear and the panic out there enough with what's going on in the world to give people a reason, yeah, to need to make a hole so that you can then sell them the drill. Do you understand? So in my mind, the constant, like, you know, Canadian prepper unfortunately has lost a lot of ground with people and respect with people because he's become that, yeah. You know, you've got things like Full Spectrum Survival, who I followed since back in 2012, who used to be called The News in 2 Minutes, and that was great when it was that. And then he became just the fear-mongering thing. And so the whole point of Sigma Prepper was to be a bit more refreshing than that and talk about realistic things like grid down scenarios day by day, how it plays out, what to expect and how we prepare against it, right? And all these other people are just going, we're all going to die, we're all going to die. And it's like, what? Yeah. And now the thing is that I've lived in like many different countries around the world where stuff has actually hit the fan quite regularly. That's why I believe in what I do, is because I've needed the stuff. I've had multiple occasions, like living in Thailand when there's a tsunami there, right? Living in Cyprus when there's like massive earthquakes there and like water when mains rupture and things like this. I don't prep because I've got some weird paranoia that no, it's because I've lived through crises with me and my missus over the last 26 years that we've lived together in different countries and visited 40 countries. I know how fragile society is, and I know how fragile humans are despite their hardiness, however an oxymoron that may sound, right? But there is a limit. There is a little thing that you start pushing, and you see my channel here in the Single Prepper is more of a global thing. I don't specialise in the UK because I have more of a worldview of things, because I'm well travelled. As they say in the Chinese proverb, to travel 10,000 miles is to gain more knowledge than to read 10,000 books, right? And there's a reason that proverb exists. And so I view things from very much a global perspective, which allows me to collect multiple dots from multiple places, both from demographically and just dispersed in different topics, so that you have more chance of connecting the right dots to the right places at the right time. But a lot of people, such as old Funky Prepper Boy here, he's obsessed with the British issues, and he lives in Britain. I feel far more free to comment and to express my views and disdain for some of the things that America is doing, because I don't live there. It's no different to me having a problem with, let's say, people who start raging mad online about Jim Kun Il. Why doesn't his name come out? Right? The North Korean leader. Yeah. You don't expect that you're going to get rounded up because you're talking about Kim Jong-un, right? Do you? However, if you're living in Washington and you're talking badly about all the politicians that live around there, it's a different thing. If you're living in the UK and you're talking badly about the UK government, are you with me? So the problem is that because I specialise more in global stuff, and probably 70% of my subscribers that I love each and every one of are from America and around the world generally. As I said the other day, 7.9% of my subs are from United, what used to be Britain. I'm not gonna say that. But this is the point, is that there's lots going on in the world, and what's also going on in the world is the fact that it's become a little bit of a, you know, let's just admit it, a police state here in the UK. I'm not going to dispute that, but that's exactly why you need to be even more careful than normal, right? As I mentioned yesterday, might as well refresh our memories. This was what I was saying the UK has become.
Where are the armed men who come in to take the protesters away? Where are they? This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua. You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
So this is basically how it's become here in the UK. And I mentioned that what I was saying had really happened with Funky Prepper, because what really has been said is this
culture in which people are cancelled all the time in order to shut them up. Now,
so the assertion here is that, just for those who haven't seen this, and then we'll get into the comments and stuff and what people in the chat are talking about, stories they've got and what they know. But this is what sparks it all off, really, because there's just a few things here that don't add up.
What's going on with Funky Prepper, but I can tell you that for the moment he is unable to get online, he's unable to make calls, he hasn't got a laptop, he's having to borrow bits and pieces from other people, and he is financially strapped. Now, if you are one of his fans and you're worried...
So basically asking for donations, right? And these are the comments which I read on the first day, one or two after someone said, did you check out the comments? I said, I saw one or two. Then they started reading some of the ones that were in there. So we're going to have a look at them, because it's crazy. It's crazy. And apparently he is going desperately through and deleting some of them. And so that was the thing. And I basically just said that it didn't make any sense, because when you look at he hasn't been banned from YouTube because he hadn't done any posts also on any of his other social media. And so on TikTok, he hadn't done a video for 5 weeks. On YouTube, hasn't done a video for 5 weeks. On Instagram, hadn't done a video for 5 weeks. And so it was like, well, if it was YouTube he was banned on, then he would have just been able to do a post on these other things, rather than what's being said is that he's basically called this guy up by using a friend's phone, because he hasn't got a phone, he hasn't got a laptop apparently. And so I was saying, well, that's a bit of a coincidence. At the same time as you can't do posts, you can't do this, and you're banned from YouTube, you also don't have a phone, you don't have a laptop. And because of the familiarity I've got with the way this works, and because of there was a woman on TikTok that me and one of my moderators actually here on the Sigma Prepper channel knew about, or had followed, or seen a few of her videos, and she started getting pretty heavy into the whole Israel-Palestine situation. You know how that goes down. And she got arrested and taken in and for questioning, and they seized her phones and her husband's phone, and some tablets she had, and she was taken in for questioning, and then she was put out on bail until the court date. And in that bail conditions, was saying that essentially she wasn't allowed to do anything on social media, wasn't allowed to contact people through social media or anything like this, or put a post on or a video. And so because of that, I thought that's sounding more like it, because where they're saying, or where the story is that YouTube's been shut down. Then I was showing that, in fact, if you look on Social Blade, which is a free tool you can use, socialblade.com, I've put this onto monthly, but when you do that, you can see the weekly subscribers gained for Funky Prepper over time, right? And you can see this big drop off of like 1,000 subscribers ditched him back in April the 8th to April the 15th for some reason. In a similar time after that, there was about minus 10,000 video views, which means that he's removed videos there. When he was changing his channel up, or something was happening back here in 2022, look, you see 170,000 views negative. And the only way you get negative video views is if you remove videos. It removes the watch time and the video views with it. And so it's kind of like, and also I showed on, there's another thing here, you can go the YouTube monetization checker, right? ytlarge.com, right? If you know where to look, and you put the link in here, you have to put the code in here just to make sure you're not a bot. But it will tell you if a channel is monetized or not. Do it to mine and it will say not. We'll do that in a minute just so I can show you what it looks like. So channel authenticity status, this channel was perceived as original good 100%. Ads are active and 100% owned by the channel. And then regions where this channel is restricted, there's no restrictions. So believe me, if you get a YouTube ban, I ain't buying it. Do you know, I mean, if you want to look into it, you can see it. It'll even tell you how many sheets he's got rocking in the old sky rocket. It's subject to what category he comes under. Social Blade will tell you that. Look up the top. Channel type, education. So depending on the type of channel topic you are, will be subject to how much those adverts running on that channel are worth. And what type of advertisers. If you're doing stuff to do with finance, you'll be getting epic sheets per 1,000 views. So he's on education, so he's doing all right. Yeah, he's talking about 100 grand, $100,000 revenue here. Now, the other thing I mentioned as well is the claim that this guy here is making on behalf of... I don't have anything against this guy. He's come up past on my swiping through social media or on other platforms a few times, and he seems like an interesting chap. So I don't, but I think apparently this guy got banned from YouTube, and then Funky Prepper, I think, put the word out for him when he was banned, and so this is like a... So anyway, monetization jobby, clearly it's still monetized, so he hasn't been banned. And the other thing to bear in mind that I made mention, and again, this is more for the purposes of people who missed the video yesterday, but I was using Perplexity AI, which is a good thing to use if you want to know something that's going on now. ChatGPT is more of an LLM AI, large language model, where it's good for writing stuff, but it doesn't have quite as an up-to-date understanding of the interwebs, whereas Perplexity does. So I asked it the question, what is the strike versus banning, etc. policy for YouTube creators? Because for those that don't know, I ran a media company representing a lot of YouTube channels. That was my forte. So I know what the community guidelines strike thing is, right? I used to be a cinematographer as well, doing cinematography for Getty Images and iStock Photo, right? And when you do that, you have to have literally almost a degree in copyright, yeah, to even become a contributor for those sort of things. So trust me when I tell you, it's not a copyright strike he's dealing with. It will be a community guideline strike if it was anything from YouTube. So first strike would be a warning. The second strike is a 1 week restriction on uploading, live streaming and other features. 1 week. It's been 6 weeks or so, 5 weeks that Funky Prepper hasn't been going. And then the third strike within 90 days, all at the same time. Bum, bum, bum. Channel termination. So it's one or two things. It's channel termination. See you later, matey boy. Nice to know ya. Or was it? Sorry. But... in which case, you wouldn't be able to see any of his videos, you wouldn't be able to play any, and blah, 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 right? So, that's not the case. And of course, 1 week, that was ages ago, so that's not the case. And it also wouldn't explain the social media thing, which then was where I got into how, yes, indeed, the bail conditions typically, if you were for hate speech or incitement laws, would result in you getting bail conditions typically that would include not being able to post anything anywhere or else. So that hopefully has caught people up as to why my assertion was I think it's more likely he was arrested for hate speech and just incitement because of how I was saying his channel seemed to turn into this real divisive thing focusing on immigration and things, which is just not a good look at all. And you know what, it just gets worse the more I look at it, to be honest. When I go into the videos, like I was looking back and there was one way back and he's there swilling a machete around and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned as well how I felt, and again, just to catch people up if they didn't see it, but I mentioned as well how, the look of it, just with the "Don't Tread on Me" flag and the Union Jack flag is just, again, it just doesn't look good. It's just the connotations of it. It's just what it says without saying it, right? And that's why I was thinking, because of what he's been saying about the immigration situation in the UK, without any thought to some percentage of his 139,000 subscribers could be taking that and running with it and doing all sorts, and then it's going to come back on him as the one who triggered them or encouraged them, or inadvertently, accidentally or not. So I think that should just catch everybody up quickly as to where we got to the other day. I've got no idea what's going on. Oh yes, and Urban Prepper is saying he's updating delivery times on his merch page, right? Which perhaps to him feels like it's not part of the bail conditions if that's what it is, right? So, total utter mutter. Bregan Bacon's a UFO hotspot. Maybe Funky was abducted and being probed. Could be. Question is, are they using lube or not? The question is, do we think he deserves lube or not? Because I tell you what, when I look at some of the comments that people have put on this guy's thing, which we'll look at now, right? I was quite amazed. Let me zoom in a little bit. So to clarify, he's lost access to his YouTube. He doesn't have a phone or laptop now. He doesn't have internet. All of the above. His X account has been abandoned as well. This sounds to me like he's been banned from the internet for reasons unknown. Maybe his device is seized. There's more to this for sure. And I hadn't read these before. This is quite interesting. Didn't he prep for this backup channel? It's not a very good prepper, is it? I mean, come on. Rule number 1, don't spend the apocalypse in a prison cell. That's about the worst place you could be. It's a little bit of a fail, isn't it? If you couldn't foresee that. I've changed the way I deliver things just because the UK's got so sensitive about certain things. And in some cases, rightfully so, even though I don't think there should be any restriction on freedom of speech personally, but that's just a personal opinion. There needs to be other things in place to allow that to work the way it's supposed to, but I don't like censorship. I'm the one who suffered from it. I don't want to say most because that's a silly thing to say, but I've suffered from it significantly with this channel, right? Richard, can you reach out to Lord Lucan and say, Lord Lucan, is Lord Lucan around, please? I do apologise, don't know where that came from. And see if he's okay, and do we need to send him any of our hard-earned money to support his bone eye laughs? Well, I haven't read all these yet, so I'm just going to be reading them out live. I'm not censoring anything, so I do apologise for anybody who's offended by hurty words. Funky's taken all the donations and is currently living in Vida Loca. Oh, see, you know what he would have voted on the live poll that we've got rocking tonight, yeah. And welcome to Grass Monster as well. Thank you for joining the Discord server. But check it out, I did a screenshot of it before we went live. What do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? I reckon he would have gone for the kicking it in the Caribbean. It's gonna be kicking it in the Caribbean is what he would have chosen here with his Funky taking all the donations and currently living in La Vida Loca. I'm amazed this video is still up or comments switched off. It's rather backfired, hasn't it, just? Because everyone's coming out of woodwork, right? My investigation team, my Sigma Prepper Wolfpack investigation team have been like working real hard in the background, and I've had various reports come to me today. Roger, confirmed. I've had various reports from my investigation team telling me what to look out for in some of these comments, but then I got a notification saying, by the way, there's 1,341 of them. So let's have a look at sort by. Can we do? No, it is on top comments. So it usually rises the ones with the most likes to the top, right? Which is the one being skeptical, right? Richard and you reach out. So let's pop down here. He didn't prep for being kicked off. Thanks, Richard, for the update. But how can a prepper not have a spare phone in it? I didn't even notice he was missing from YouTube. Stopped watching him ages ago. When all he says is, I need money. And the only thing he's coming back now and saying is, I need money. Oh, look, there's my video there. Thank you, YouTube. Even though it's only showing it to me, this is my single forever channel. Anyway, anyone that gives up working to chisel money from chisel, struggling to make ends here, yeah, has no credibility in my humble opinion. All his predictions have fallen flat. He's a bellend. He became dependent on electricity, the internet and PayPal. No prepper worth his salt does that. Wow, this is literally one-to-one, like just... Can you explain how Funky Prepper read comments stating some people thought he was dead if he can't get online and doesn't have a phone? See a fellow critical thinker there. Should we like that? Nah. Why is Richard only sending hearts to positive comments in favour of the grift, but not hearting the comments from good, honest, hard-working people pointing out their true core beliefs honestly and openly without prejudice? You know what? Do you know, it almost makes me feel like attracts like, and I really don't want to say that because I don't want to say anything about this dude here because I don't know enough about him to be honest. But the fact that this guy is removing comments the same as this was what I was, you know, this is what I was dealing with Funky Prepper when I was trying to keep him in line with like what he was telling people and just tried to correct him super politely. That's not my style. I'm not like some arrogant ego. Oh, that's wrong, mate. That's not my style. You know what I mean? It was like, by the way, just a heads up. Da, 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 you know what I mean? It's that kind of style. I mean, I'm representing my brand because it was as Sigma Prepper, and literally removed the comment and banned me from any of my comments showing up. I mean, I didn't know until like a few days later when I said, I thought you were going to put a comment on there, Drew. And I was like, yeah, I did. She said, nah, nothing on there as far as I can see. And that was when I realised. I was like, you sneaky why-I-yada. Why-I-yada. Anyway, come on. Stop messing about. Next. We got to here. Why is Richard only saying... Yeah. He was just scaremongering doom constantly. Yeah. He gave inaccurate information. Yeah, on several occasions. Look, you see, this is a trend, man. He would claim to predict something bad that was about to occur. And do you know what's funny is that's what I became known for on one of my other prepping channels when I launched the virus prediction tool in January of 2020, right? January of 2020, before it was even on the mainstream stream, I launched my virus prediction tool to predict viruses. I'll tell you what, I'm really surprised just how many skeptics there are around the internet. So I'll tell you what, let's just go on to survival gear here. For free there, you can go and download it and have a play. It's my virus prediction tool. I came up with various algorithms basically back in 2020. It became kind of viral, but that's kind of why my channel was kind of dimmed down. The light was dimmed. But it gives you projections of how many people are going to be you-know-whatted by you-know-what. So that if they give you a load of stuff about, oh, there's a new thing along the way, you can dial in the numbers and it'll tell you how many people should have it by a certain amount of time. If it doesn't add up, we know it's snidey. Always skeptical when so-called truthers ask for donations, just saying. Here for the cut, especially... And do you know what? Especially when someone like him, that look, let's just pop this one open. Oh, let me just have a look. So if you look here, just the first one I'm popping open, right? He knows what he's doing when it comes to sheets. Look, check it out. It's all about the sheets. Look at the first things in here. Support me links. Look, PayPal, coffee, buy me a coffee, bosh, bosh, bosh. This thing here, ignore that. That's just taken from the bottom of it. But this is literally the first thing in the description is support me links, right? And then all of these, look, all of these are thingy bobs, coupon codes. So he gets commission, merch, of which is making sheets, membership, sheets. Email me if you want to send me sheets. Prepper trade store sheets. P.O. box, send me more presents, sheets, and then the socials. And then the partners, look, oh, like torches by here, he's got his own little code. Fucking, he knows what he's doing, look. It's all about the sheets. Now he's got his prepper shop discount as well, affiliate share. Come on, man. That entire description is just about the sheets. So when people say, oh, you know, he's not going to earn any money. I already said he's going to be earning money for quite a while because he's got a residual income coming in from the fact that he's got so many videos on there getting views all the time that he's getting paid on the 23rd, between the 22nd and the 25th of every month from Google. Yeah, for his YouTube ad revenue. So let's see what, just quick check with the live chat here because that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do tonight's show because I totally forgot yesterday. Savage Lee, 25 thumbs up. Woohoo! Love you. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout, I must say. Please do hit the like button if you haven't done already. It does help this piddly little channel that YouTube doesn't want to grow. But let's show it our love. Please hit the like button. Even if you don't want to subscribe because you can't bear to listen to or see me ever again. I get it. I get it. But for those that think they could possibly bear another video with me at some point in the future, then I strongly recommend subscribing because you literally will never see me ever again in the whole wide world. It's just a sad thought. Let's toast to that never happening. Cheers, everyone. Right, and thank you to our laterist subscribers. Really appreciate you. Thank you to our most recent VIP Patreon members as well. So anyway, let's have a see what else is going on in these comments so we can see, because it starts getting a little bit... You see this? I don't even notice what's missing from YouTube. Some of these have got quite a few replies, like... Something doesn't add up, 14 replies. There's always some of these. You drop all methods of communication in times like this if you know how to prep properly. What? I was under... That sounds like he's been learning from Funky Prepper, doesn't it? I was under the impression communication was one of the main area strategies. Yeah. If he is cash strapped, he won't have internet or cell contract. You use cash. No, it's nothing to do with cash. I'm telling you, he's had cash coming in all the time. It's because he's not allowed. It's because the cops, the popo has said to him, if you do a Facebook post, if you do a YouTube video, if you reply to a comment on a YouTube video, if you even look at Twitter, you're getting maced and tased. Yeah? Yeah? Don't tase me, bro. Lich, maced and tased is how you're going to end up. This is what he's been told. That's what happens. That's what happened to this matey girl on TikTok that me and Sandy, one of my mods, know about, right? Because we just stumbled across it. It's like, oh man, check that out. Getting properly arrested for hurty words now. But that's the reality of it. And part of being a good prepper is understanding that's the new reality we live in, rather than complaining about it and thinking you can take the government down. Good luck with that. They know what you're going to do before you do. Which is why I said yesterday, it's just super red flag dodge when you got videos like this with his like, don't tread on me business and his Union Jack flying, I don't want to say it, but in true Tommy Robinson style is how it's coming across, right? I'm talking about you got to look at it through the eyes of the intelligence services, like I said yesterday. Not to mention, when I looked at vids, right? When I looked at vids and I saw some of the stuff on it, I was like, man, that's blatant. That's blatant. If I was working for the cops or whatever, I'd be like, man, what? Look at it. It's all like proper combat stuff. This is exactly what I didn't want. That's exactly what Secret Prepper was trying to get away from. Like, just to show that it doesn't have to be all about that, man. It's about strategic planning. It's about knowledge building. It's about having some skills and just the right tactical gear. Yeah? But look at it. It's just this focus on weapons, really, not tools or things. Look at this. How does that look? Tell me, how does that look? And you know how sensitive the United Kingdom is about bladed items. Yeah? And look at this. This is the one I saw. Look. Look at this, swinging this business around. Yeah? Look, swinging this business around. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? You're gonna get maced in tears there, our lad. See you there, our lad. You're gonna get maced in tears, tell thee. Look at it all. I can't even show it. Come on. Right, tell me right now, live in the chat. If you're with me live, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Great to have you with us, Savagely. Yeah, look it up. He's probably drunk, sleeping it off somewhere. Ian Palmer in the house. Great to see Ian Palmer. I don't know how far back I am. We'll find out in a minute. Grassroots, lovely to see you. Especially when red alerts are daily. Look to see. Grass Monster says, I avoid channels, apparently, that use thumbnails like red alert. How about this?
Critical alert.
How about critical alert?
This is not a test.
Don't tase me, bro. Don't leave me, bro. Right, let's go and have a look on Discord and see if he's going to be exiting it out the back door, thinking I'm not going to be looking. Okay. I use it very sparingly. When it's an alert, it's an alert. Yes, Ian Palmer. You know what I'm talking about. Pedigree Mungle always shared good preps, and he did that, but also had a bit of pushing stuff. I don't think he was analytical enough about, and has a bit of a little Englander demeanour. Oh, Englander demeanour about him. I get you. I laugh every time I see this. Wow, I must be right back to when it was like the straight to jail, drive too fast, straight to jail, drive too slow, straight to jail. Classic. It's literally how it feels in the UK. And not just the UK, just the West generally at the moment, right? But you got to know how to navigate these things, man. And you got to know how to not influence people because you're an influencer when you've got 139,000, as I described yesterday. There's a small percentage of people that are just a little bit doolally, and you have to allow for that in your... It's a numbers game, right? In your equations. When people see stuff like that and swishing about with your balaclava on, I mean, come on, man. Carolyn Rose in the house, Stargazer. Dirty Faces, thank you for being with us. Oh, did we have some freezing action? More than likely. More than likely, this channel suffers from all sorts of weirdness, but not from me. I'm really glad I found this channel. Thank you, Dr. Gonzo. Great content, lovely moderators, and friendly community. 1,000 subscribers coming soon. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. We should have some special celebration. I can't bear to look because I know when I wake up in the morning, YouTube would have like removed at least half of them. Oh man. Reload the page, it will resync. Yorkshire Pud. Right, let's skip down. Let's get into it because I want to see what people got to say about it. No, this is just literally me. I'm a little bit neurodivergent. I'm a polymath and an autodidact, which makes me a little bit weird to some people looking in from the outside until you get to know me. Other than that. Is there one that uses it? And no, it's definitely just tea. I can't tip it down that much. It'll start pouring out. Mistake, you're not screaming. My honest opinion, you need a blade to open stuff to cut with, etc. So I found those videos. Yeah, but I'm talking about when you're swishing it around like that, which isn't you being clear. Do you know, if you look at the legal definition, because I had to see what I could do videos about or not, right? Again, due diligence. Which is, and again, I mentioned yesterday with regard to my book, The Ultimate Prepping Guide by Sigma Prepper, right? I might as well just highlight that again because this is relevant. This was the whole point I made with this yesterday. Some people said, "What was the?" Well, I didn't understand that. I was like, "Well, the point is that in my 300-page book, before I even get to chapter 1, my first section 00, like is what I called it, is legal and ethical because it's so important in this business, man. To be legal, honest, and decent. So I've lived my life." Sigma Prepper is committed to promoting mindset of legality, honesty, and decency, even in the most extreme survival situations. Remember, check out Matthew Reed joining the Wolfpack in the house. Thank you, my man. Much appreciated. Don't forget to hit all notifications, because then you've got less chance of being bumped off when you're not looking. It happens. So remember, as the likely survivor of any future crisis, you will eventually have to live with the consequences of your decisions. When society returns to normal, you may be held legally accountable for your actions taken during the crisis. Therefore, it is crucial to maintain a moral compass and adhere to the principles of lawful and ethical behavior at all times. Yeah? So the whole point, the reason I put a focus on this, and then I have a lot of stuff here about like not messing yourself up, not messing yourself up, not logging yourself out of the admin accidentally on my behalf, right? Because you've gone off and you've done something that's caused, you know, and so on, right? So anyway, if I had 5 minutes to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 3 sharpening my axe. Abraham Lincoln. Brilliant quote. So anyway, that's my book. It's 20 chapters, small, 350 pages long because I've got the last chapter, Surviving World War III. So bear with me on that one. There's a lot of people really, really keen to see that, and it's been in the works for a long, long time. I do appreciate that, but I'm trying to get things where it needs to get to with the channel because I'm running on fumes and Lich can't afford to write my book. So, and of course, thank you so very much as well to, I've got to say, thank you to our latest customer of my original exclusive Ultimate Hotspot by Sigma Prepper. This is the emergency offline internet system. It's all laser engraved aluminium heatsink plates and stuff. So thank you so much for grabbing yourself one of them. It comes in a little RF blocking Faraday bag and a little magnetic dongle. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Little dongle USB port in there as well. And that basically has got offline internet. So if the grid went down with just a USB battery bank, you know, something like this, like a 75 watt hour type thing, USB battery bank, that wireless hotspot runs on about half a watt, so you get about 140 hours constant on there. But basically the wireless hotspot that John's got himself today, was it this morning, I think I saw that come in on the VIP, because he's become a VIP patron, so he got himself like a sneaky super duper discount on it, bless him. Right, fair play. Because there's only about 4, I think, in stock at the moment, so thank you so much. But the idea of it is it basically acts as an access point when the internet goes down, the grid goes down, and with your smart device you can wirelessly with the Wi-Fi access the entirety of Wikipedia, 6.2 million pages, including all the images, about 160 of the original Canadian Prepper survival guide stuff, SAS survival guides, the entire medical wiki, 60,000 books of the Gutenberg project, you name it, it's on there. And so that's all accessible, even if there's no internet, no cell towers or anything. So I just wanted to say thank you, because John grabbed himself one of them today, and I was really keen that somebody would before Christmas. So thank you so much, John. I'll get that sent out on Monday for you. It should arrive Tuesday. And, you know. What does neurodivergent mean? I don't know, man. You have to go and look it up. So has Fog Eyes done a runner with the cash then? Well, that is that's one of the things that you can vote on. Don't forget, we've got the live poll rocking as well, so that you can share your thoughts on this. This is the only time anyone's ever going to do this for you. I'm just giving you a platform to share what you have learned about Funky Prepper, share your concerns, share what you think has happened, and any opinions you've got of what I'm asserting I feel is most likely what has happened and why. And so really tonight's about us looking at what other people think about the situation and, you know, what I think. Oh, okay. Thank you, Honey Bunny. Sorry. Mrs. Sigma Prepper Magic Hand. John C. I've just seen it in there. 1,000 subscriber Wyberries. So thank you so very much, each and every one of you. I appreciate it. You've got no idea how much I value every single one. And anyone who's followed me for a length of time will know that I know everyone by name. Right? This is a very close community. This isn't like, I kind of don't want to be massive, because it's quite nice, the people that have become part of this channel, because they've just been so loyal and supportive, and they've understood me in some of my, you know, really challenging times, and seen the way I've persevered and pulled through it, which has given them hope and them motivation and inspiration that with the things that I've had to go through, then they can kind of get through anything kind of thing, right? And so to even have been that for people, let alone the other ways that I've helped, is what really sort of gives me a buzz. And so whether I'm helping one person to do a much better job when it hits the fan, and they're reflecting back, or they're learning from my book and using the skills and the knowledge in there to keep them looking good, or just one little thing that I've said at some point that's helped them to get themselves out of dodge. When I hear those stories, that's what really excites me. Like I say, whether that's one person or a 10,000 of them. Thank you so very much, everyone, for your support, though. I really appreciate I didn't really want to be talking about this sort of subject when my channel gets to 1,000. I hadn't really. Thank you so much, everyone. Super chuffed. JRD as well. Thank you for being with us. I do apologise if I'm scanning through. Thank you, Magic Hand. Thank you for putting up with my sleepless nights. Do you know, yesterday, I've got to tell you, because someone says, oh, is he drunk or something? It's like, no, you got to know that yesterday I did 2 live shows, not one. I did 2 live shows yesterday on this channel, right? So, let's see, it says 999 there. It's probably going to start taking people off. Don't forget it. YouTube does do that on this channel. It's been doing it for 2-3 years now. But what I did yesterday, if you go into live, you see, I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just saying. But you see, we had this one that I did that many of you saw. That's what we're talking about today, is like a recap, update, and a have your say. And then after that, I did another 2.5 hour live shows 2 hours later. And then after that live show, we were in the after party, which is what we do over on the Discord server. Right here, you'll see on the Discord server, you'll see the public after party, and there's like after party room. Basically, it's a voice room. We can all go in there and talk to each other and stuff. So all these people like Grass Monster and that can join us in there after this show. We'll be having one tonight. Normally, this is only for the VIP Patreon members, which is like 20 cents a day, or like 1 cup of coffee a month or something like that. And then you get access to the VIP voice chat, amongst other things like discounts and things, right? So, and free ebook downloads and all sorts, right? But that's basically where we go. And so up until Christmas, I decided I was going to open the after parties to non-VIP Patreon members, right? Just because I'm nice and I love you. So that's where we'll be after the show. So if you'd like to join in with that and have a bit of a crease, we can talk about all sorts of things that, you know, is best advised not talking about on YouTube, or is something that wouldn't interest the large majority or something like that. This is why I have a great time in there and build the community, right? So please do join. It's a great place to be. And like I say, I'm doing these. So the thing is, right, here's my excuses I'm making for myself. You ready? Check it out. I'm like, I need to be hearing some violins in the background when we go through this. So all I'm saying is that yesterday I did this show, which was like an hour. Not to mention writing the show and figuring it out, getting all everything open. And then 2.5 hours, 2 hours later on this, starting at 10 o'clock or whatever it was, till about half midnight. And then we were on the after party, and I was on the after party until 6 a.m. UK time, which is obviously a different time in America. And then I got to sleep at about 7, and I woke up at midday. So I've only had 5 hours sleep, and I was rocking for I don't even know how many hours that is yesterday. So just bear with me, all right? Let me just check it out. We do need to have a break because my tea's freezing cold. Have we gone in an hour yet? We have as well. Cheers, everyone. And I literally haven't even scratched the surface yet. I've got loads of stuff I need to show you about things going on. We need to be doing a full global threat analysis report as well. So I'm thinking what we might do is to do a threat analysis report. Okay, this is the plan. I want to be getting through these comments. I also really need to go through people's comments on my video. That was the point, because I need to reply to them and click the heart button, and I'll reply to some of these live that people have commented on this video I did, right? Let me just pause that quickly. So I want to go through these, and then I want to reply to them, or if someone's asking me something or claiming something, then I'm going to be responding to that, right? And then we'll be doing a global threat analysis report with everything that's going on in the world, because there are some things that I'd like to bring to your attention as well. So we've got so many things to get into. It's frustrating. It's going to be DJ Sims in the house. Do you know, I still haven't... Miko Wolf, great name. More likely took a break to chill out. He's not just on YouTube being seen. Yeah, wasn't somebody saw him in a restaurant or something? Meaty boy. Probability that what you said is higher than what Funky is saying and his friends. The whole story didn't make sense. Absolutely, man. Spidey senses, Meaty boy. Spidey senses triggered by any chance, were they? Oh, man. What Funky is saying to his friends, the whole story didn't make sense. I think it was rude for Funky and his partner. Not let his fans know as well. Yeah, and do you know what? I did mention that yesterday because myself, I've had times where things got Larry, like 2021, for example, things were getting pretty dodgy when it came to the whole, you know what. And I kind of, because I've run a media business, like as the owner of it, right? Me run a media business, you have to know what part of preparing and being strategic and stuff, right? And so, like even back then before, you had to know where to draw the line. And so I went quiet for a while, and I must admit, I felt awful. And every day it went on that I hadn't done a post or something to say I was all right. And I honestly didn't realize how much people had come to care about me in what I thought was a short period of a couple of years' time. But to them, I was like a significant, and it almost made me cry. I'm going to tell you, I had this email at the time, right, from this woman who was, I used to do a show, and it was like on certain days with certain things. And on the Friday night was a show that everyone loved, and it was such a community type of live show I would do. And she sent me this email, and it almost made me cry. And it's upsetting me just thinking about it now. Hold on. Oh, what is wrong with me? So anyway, she was going like doing chemotherapy, and she said, oh, for the 2-hour show that you do is the same time as I have to sit there having my chemotherapy, and your show has got me through it every week. And I'm just like, oh man. I think I'm doing some worthless show that no one cares about, no one's taking in, and then you get an email like that and you're like, and I felt so awful. So I totally meet you, boy, when you say I think it was rude for Funky. I learned that lesson so badly, and I had, so it's a tricky one, right? Rachel, yes, it's true, I had a reply from someone. I'm sorry, I'm cutting into people's conversations. I've got no idea what came before that. Sorry, I'm having to glide through. I didn't realise I've been jibber-jabbering for like more than an hour or something crazy, innit? I do apologise, everyone. Sorry, this isn't even... The whole point of me doing tonight's show is because what I was going to do yesterday was to let people see what other people were saying about it, because I hadn't really spent much time looking through the comments until a few people said, dude, go and check the comments. And I've ended up trying to catch everyone else up who hadn't seen the video, and so I apologise. Yeah, so still open-ended, still a lot of people questioning the real thing, right? Meaty boy here, look, yeah, people care about the creators they watch. It's like an extended family, 100%. And this is why when I built Sigma Prepper channel, which came after that experience, right, I vowed to not do that again, right? And you're all my friends anyway. That's the whole point of the Sigma thing. It's all about we're like the black sheep of the family. We're the people who sort of don't feel like we fit in. We don't want to be in part of massive large groups and all that. We just want to chill out, you know, and work on ourselves and work on our own self-reliance and, you know, our own skills building so we can be the best versions of ourselves. So we don't need to rely on other people to help us do stuff. We understand the government's got their own problems, and when a crisis happens, they're just not going to be there for us. They don't have the means, they don't have the resources, and some would question whether they have the will. And so the people that understand that know that no one's coming to our rescue in this scenario. It's down to us. And it's more importantly that we're realistic about it as people like us who don't have massive families or big compounds that we live in and all this sort of business. We're just us on our own, you know, our families spread about. We don't have like massive gang of mates that we hang about with or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like just normal people who just want to know how we can do as well as a big bunch of dudes, but just on our own with a little bit of strategic thought, force multipliers and things like that, right? Strategic advantages. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Sean Rawlings, great to see you, Sean. Okay, say the cookies, it's 1,000 or later. Is it 1,000 or not? I don't know. It's probably gone up and then down again, no doubt. I see it happen every day. Oh no, we're all right. We're right. It used to take about 3 a day off, no matter what. I guess that's just a thing, right? Thank you so much to all our new subscribers. Don't worry, the show's going to get better for those that are just joining us. This is just part 1 where we just mess about, basically. It's not really. But but we're going to be going a short break now because I'm desperate for a new cup of tea. And it also gives people a chance to sort of come in as well. I notice there's a lot of people who are watching that other video are going to come over to this as we go. And then we can get through to the comments on my video that you put on yesterday. I really want to answer for you, and it's much better if I do that live and I can get into a bit more detail on each thing, and you know, we can share your comments with other people here that are live with us in the chat. And I'm also interested to see your feedback in our live poll we've got rocking tonight. You should see that if you're with us live in the chat on the right hand side, depending on the platform you're using it on. But what I would say is on the Discord server, which is a great place to be, a great place to make friends and an absolute knowledge base of prepping and survival info. But here on the public lounge is just where you put random stuff, say hi to people, and where you end up coming in when you first join. But I put a screenshot in here for the purposes of people who are coming back to this afterwards, who don't see the poll. What do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? This is version 2 because we're going to compare the results from yesterday. Kicking it in the Caribbean. Personal/health issues, arrested by the Popo on bail conditions, or banned from YouTube as claimed. So there are your options for the poll that we've got rocking tonight. Please do take part in that. This is where you get to have your say and be heard. If you have any stories or any times that you've met Funky Prepper that you can maybe let us know about live in the chat or in the comments below that can help us to figure out what's going on here, then absolutely bring them in. That's what tonight's show is all about, so we can do it, talk about it, lay it to rest, and then we'll just have to sit back and see when, if, how he comes back online and what he says about where he's been. But in the meantime, we're going to be going on a short break, and hopefully I'll have a bit of time in brewing my tea to try and catch up with some of your comments and read them through before we come back for part 2. He's got loads set up, plus a full global threat analysis coming in part 2. Criminal to miss it, so don't. In the meantime, please hit the like, and I shall see you in 5.
Start this show.
Welcome back, Wolfpack. Welcome back. Your boy Drew here with a Single Prepper channel. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate each and every one of you being with us. Tricky topic. You know, we don't like moaning about stuff and we don't like nasty things. We like to be talking about prepping and survival and ways we can get through things and maintaining good, cool mental health, right? So thank you everyone for understanding what this is all about. And again, I'm going to try and get through your comments, and we'll get through it. And I know there's a lot of people who are feeling a lot of things. That's why I'm doing these 2 videos, yesterday's and today's, so that it gives people the opportunity to say what they think. Now, before we do any of that, we need to say cheers with my new cup of tea. So, love, peace and progress to the Wolfpack. Thank you everyone for joining me. Really appreciate you, each and every one of you. 1,000 subscribers, what can I say? Thank you. I'll do a special ultimate Single Prepper live show to celebrate. So hit the like button. Thank you, everyone. Cheers. Please also vote in the live poll we have running tonight. You'll see that live in the chat if you're just joining us. If YouTube's allowing anyone to continue joining us. Please do share with your friends if you've got friends that you think would be interested in the Sigma Prepper videos and the way I go about helping people to be prepared for whatever the crisis is. Please do share this channel on your social medias. It's literally the only way we can get ourselves out there. And I've been rocking for many, many years. Since 2002. And I started this new channel in 2022. And it's been a struggle. That's suppression. That's censorship, right? So thank you to everyone who is with us now. Now, first and foremost, do vote in the live poll. You'll see that documented over there on the Discord server. The link's in the description for that if you want to join in the fun, become part of the Wolfpack clan, and get in there learning from all the wealth of knowledge about prepping and survival, whatever it is, whether it's off-grid power, clothing and footwear, health and medicine, whatever it is, go and check it out. But please do vote in the Loaf poll. If you're watching this afterwards, you can see it on there, what we had tonight. What do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? Either kicking it in the Caribbean, personal health issues, arrested by the police or on bail conditions, or banned from YouTube as claimed. They're your options. Please do vote tonight, and I'm going to be interested to see how that vote has changed from yesterday. And we'll talk about that before the end of tonight's show. As I said, though, when we came back, we were going to do an SHTF. Okay, let's do that. We're going to do it. I've decided which way round we're going to do it. Executive decision. Okay, let's go through your comments very quickly first, in case I missed anything, and then we'll do global threat analysis report, which we can get through that, and then we'll come back to doing the comments and what people are saying about. It'll give people time to get it in there. It seems like you have something against him, a bot. Are you really a bot or not a bot? It seems like you have something against him. No, I have something. Sorry. I have to assume you hadn't seen the first part of the video or yesterday's video. In full disclosure, so for those that are joining us here in part 2, in full disclosure, I don't have a problem with him personally because I've never met him, so I wouldn't be able to judge someone like that. I don't like to be judged personally when people haven't met me personally. Me streaming live is about as personal as you get, do you know what I mean? And then in the after parties, which we'll be having tonight, so you're welcome to join and thrash out your theories with me live in the after party, or that we do that on Discord, where we can all talk voice. Not all at the same time, typically, but we all talk voice about various prepping and survival subjects that you want to talk about here in the public after party, which usually is only for the VIP Patreon members, and thank you to you. But because I'm a nice kind of a guy, up until Christmas, we're doing it for everyone, so you can come and join in the conversation, right? So we're going to keep that open tonight anyway, right? But the reason I say you can't have watched yesterday, in full disclosure, it's more about the fact that I had mentioned that my first experience with him was people sending me his videos saying he's copying you, he's coming out with the same phrases, he's calling stuff the same thing, which is quite unique to me in many ways. He started calling some of his shows the titles of the, or similar variations of the titles I've been using straight after I come out of it. It wasn't me asserting this, it was other people sending me, you got to check this dude out, he's obviously watching your videos, Drew, right? And I'll go and check it out. But the problem came where I lost respect for him as a prepper. That's probably a fairer statement to say, A-bot. Where unfortunately for him, and for unfortunately his viewers, I lost respect for him, was the moment when I did respond to one of my followers and subscribers and moderators who said to me, you got to go and check this out. When I was flicking through just to see what they were talking about, I just happened to stumble across a bit where he was giving some properly bad information that's going to get people logged out of the admin. Right? Which I was pretty like, oh, cringy. So I went in the comments section, super nice, right? Hey, my man. Literally, that's how I started it. Hey, my man. Yeah, just a heads up. The dose you should be telling people is 1/10 of what you're stating, and people will start to become unwell in less than 3 days or something like that. I just thought it's important for people to know. Even closed it with my normal wolfy face emoticon and blue heart emoticon, right? Within a couple of hours, just totally removed off the comment section. And I realised after when I didn't know it was, but I'd been banned, shadow banned from writing any comments further after that. Yeah. So that was where I lost respect. That was where I was a bit like, oh, what? You're going to like not correct what could be harmful for someone, and you'd rather delete me off there for knowing what I'm talking about. I don't mean that in a funny way, but I'm just saying, do you know what I mean? That's kind of how it is in that situation. But the fact that it gets removed and then I'm banned from even saying anything ever again is just, to me, come on, be honest with yourself and with me. Everyone's had that experience, I'm sure, at some point where you're like, oh, what? We know what that means when someone does that. So as I've said, I think the other issue I have is the fact that because of his content has been so fear-mongering based, because it's been so much to do with the immigration situation, because he's become this caricature of what he thinks a prepper should be, with talking about weapons all the time and don't tread on me flag and Union Jack flag, and he's just bringing heat, man. It's just like, this is exactly what it isn't supposed to be about, right? This is not accessible. This is not accessible to the average person who is like a working class person who's got a job and has heard his workmate at work or her work colleague at work talking about, oh, we've got ourselves a cupboard full of tins and a water filter because you never know, kind of thing. And then they've heard them talk about that and then gone home and thought, you know what, maybe I should do something too. And then they've gone online to search for someone to learn from to get into prepping. And then you come across these sorts of things where you got someone like with a shotgun chewing tobacco and shooting a head off chicken just because it's getting in the way of the live stream. I just don't want people to see that when they're coming in from like the normal average Joe, which is becoming more and more the case now, don't forget. Like previously in my years of doing this, like I say, since 2002, when we were living in Thailand at the time, and you become a prepper without even meaning to be, because you're just living life. Everyone's a prepper in Thailand. It's the same as in Africa. Everyone's a prepper, right? Without knowing it. Either that's because you're prepared with the skills, prepared with the knowledge, or you're prepared with the certain things that you need, and you're resourceful with the things you do have, right? So they're way ahead of the game, right? When you live in a country like that, particularly where we were on a tiny little island in the middle of nowhere, right? This is in Southeast Asia I'm talking about. You learn about prepping just accidentally, yeah? And it doesn't matter how long you've been into this thing. I'm just saying things have changed over time. And there's always been instances, there's always been occurrences of things that are like black swan events, as they're seen at the time, that prompt people and push people into, yeah, do you know what? Maybe there is something like, maybe they're not all crazy. Maybe it could all collapse at one point. Maybe there are threats out there that I wasn't aware of before. And they see the value in doing their preparedness, and they get themselves some bits. And then, but those occasions don't come round very often. I mean, things like 2008 economic crash, I remember a lot of people became preppers there. A lot of channels sparked up around 2008 talking about preparedness and things like that, because they'd seen how things could go and could go again. And so the cascade effect of that with social unrest and things that result. A lot of people became preppers. There was the 2012 when everyone thought the world was going to end because of the Sumerian calendar finishing on its 12,500 year cycle, which is more to do with the galactic current sheet than anything else. That's a whole other video. And then again, you fast forward to things like 2020, right? And lots of people became preppers in 2020 because they understood that the risks do exist. The governments are capable of doing something like a lockdown. Yeah? The JIT system, the just-in-time system that is part of that global trade and you know, just-in-time system where you don't have stock rooms and it's all digital now, can come to a standstill, right? And so because people saw that and understood that in 2020 even, a lot of people became preppers as a result of that, and some people started pushing their channels more and more on the back of that too, right? So it's always been instances where things have triggered activity of people to become prepared, and in these instances people go off and they look for someone to look to say, who knows what they're talking about. I don't want to go down the wrong path. I don't want to buy the wrong things that I shouldn't. I don't have money to burn. So they start searching for things. And it seems that what people were continually being served up on their searches was indeed Funky Prepper. And my issue with it is that the whole point of my own personal brand and my own personal version of preparedness and survival, right, was to get away from that caricature, dagger, camo, AI, portable, bug-out surveillance wireless modules here that is still in prototype form on the circuit board. This is what I'm spending my time doing. You know, making these little tiny surveillance cameras with the battery included with a range of like nearly 1 kilometer. You can just pop in a bush and see when someone's coming. You know? It's about bringing value in various different ways, and I don't see much value in when you're just always talking about, you know, that's my issue. So it's nothing personal, it's just, it goes against everything that my channel tried to represent, so that that's not what preppers are. Because when someone like Funky Prepper is going on and on and on about immigration all the time, it comes down and looks badly on all of the preppers. So that's what it's got to do with me. And when I get people asking me, what's going on with him? What's going on with him? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? First thing I'm thinking is, well, if they're following Funky Prepper, then I wonder what information they think they know. And I'm not saying that Funky Prepper doesn't know what he's talking about, but I've heard a lot of people telling me that he doesn't. And a lot of the videos that I've seen would suggest he doesn't. And when I correct him myself on things that are wrong, right, and then I get that deleted and then I'm banned from his channel. I've never banned anyone from this channel. The only thing that ever gets banned from this channel is things like the bots that come in, like going on about crypto scams and all this other stuff, just to protect other people like you, so you don't go clicking on links that you're going to regret, right? Or people who flood in keywords that they know are going to trigger some sort of a censorship thing, right? Cheers, everyone. I know I'm ranting, but I just find it annoying. And it's more annoying. I would never have made these videos if it hadn't have been for this one, where Matey Boy's giving it the big one about the fact that he's been banned off YouTube. And it's like, no, it didn't take me more than 30 seconds. It didn't take me more than 30, sorry, that's my book. We went on, it didn't take me more than 30 seconds to see on this monetization checker that you can find if you know what you're looking for. To see that he's not banned and there's nothing wrong with his channel. And there's no penalizations, there's no restrictions. And what's more, on Social Blade, as it shows here on the stats, there's no removals of videos, otherwise the video views would go negative, like back here when he started his channel kind of back up under a different sort of thing back in 2022, right? And there was like 170,000 views worth of videos removed there, and there's a couple here with 10,000 views worth of video removed. I still want to know what this minus 1,000 subscribers was that happened back in April 2024. He obviously said something to someone that wasn't that people like left over, but so I was just, my point is that if it's a lie. It's not because he's banned is all I was saying, and it's just more likely that he's been had under the hate speech laws and the incitement laws here in the UK, which is what I was demonstrating was so such a thing here. And the migration thing that he focused on is one of the most sensitive things of the sensitive things, and the way that he spoke about it made me cringe. And so if it makes me cringe, that's all. Because I just think it's a bit divisive, and what I'm all about is bringing people together and adapting and surviving. And adapting can sometimes mean acknowledging when to fight, when to flee, when to freeze, when to fawn, and understand that there's a strategic benefit to not always choosing one. And so sometimes you have to adapt, right? When it's something you can't change, you have to work around it and find workarounds. If you continually just banging on about the problem all the time rather than delivering solutions, that's when you start getting to that point where you start inciting, even if they can show that you're inciting resentment. That is incitement. When you've got 139,000 people who don't know anything else, don't know any different, and you've got a small percentage, even 0.5% of those people that are a little bit, yeah, you've got 1,000 people that are willing to take things the wrong way or the right way, yeah, depending on what they're watching, and who knows what trouble they're going to cause on your back, right? I couldn't imagine anything more devastating than something happening and then it be as a result of something I said that someone thought what? Can you imagine that? You got to understand that when you're doing this and you're doing these videos and you're trying to educate people and you're trying to help people come together so that we can share our knowledge and do the work that we do together, and like I do on this channel, it's you got to protect that, and you got to understand what are the things that can, you know. Funky is not a prepper, says UK Urban Prepper. I go off wild camping for a couple of weeks at a time, have my phone off, but always let people know. Yeah, same here, man. In fact, Gross Monster, what I'd say is I do wild camping, solo camp. And I was going to see if I had a live here. Look, this is me doing my little lives, you know, from the woods. Because it's actually keeps you company. I don't know if you find the same thing, but doing a live show from the woods while I'm on a wild solo camp, particularly if I'm on a stealth camp, I have to try and do them in the daytime rather than the nighttime, for obvious reasons, with the lighting and stuff. Sigma community is awesome, very caring. Thank you, Day Survival. Total nutter. I don't want to be part of a family. I'd rather live in the woods away from it. That's exactly what makes you a Sigma. Because sometimes you need to have a little wolf pack you can come and go from, that you can call your own, and have a space where you feel you belong. That's the whole point. I'm so glad you said that. That is what makes a Sigma personality. Somebody who just doesn't want to be owned by anyone. They don't want to be bossed around by anyone. They don't want to own anyone. They don't want to boss anyone around. They just want to work on their own skills, their own survival, their own looking after themselves, their own self-development. Yeah, perfect, man. But even those people quite like to come together now and again, right? With other people that are similar to them. And that's why our after parties work so well on the Discord server. So I'm really looking forward to our one tonight. Don't forget the after party room here. We'll be there after this show, talking live about various things. Kazza there, when we're leaving, absolutely, yeah. Can we agree to like this live stream? Thank you, Daddy's OG, really appreciate that. What a superstar, great to have you with us. Stevie O in the house, it was lovely to catch up with you last night, Stevie. Toodle pip, Yorkshire Plum. I'm going to have to pop off chat, need to charge phone. But we're still watching via TV. You mean you weren't pre-prepared with your phone being already pre-charged? We're only joking. Thank you, Yorkshire, but appreciate you being with us, my man. Miko Wolf, or did he join British military to go Ukraine to fight war? No. He'd be being paid to do that, so we wouldn't be asking for sheets. Amphir in the house. I've had the country's top counter-terrorism professor and ex-Royal Marine major crying down the phone. Everyone has their breaking points, so I'm not dog-pilling in on Funky without the facts. We're just asking the question. Things don't add up. Spidey senses are being triggered, and from what other people are saying, other things. Paul Fisher here. One less grifter on YouTube as far as he's concerned. We have a lot of Ukrainians, British. Don't forget, we'll be having the Warzone Wednesdays. Thank you those that joined us for that. Catch you later, Mike. Thanks a lot, my man. I'll catch up with you a bit later on. I just wanted to catch up with the chat, and then we're going to do a global threat analysis and see what's going on in the world. Ty with us as well. Great to see you, Ty. I'm just getting myself down here, look. Nothing yet here in Wales. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Like it. Lone Wolf Prepper. Still calm here, apparently. Start about 3 in the morning. Kindred Spirit, maybe, Lone Wolf Prepper? Kindred Spirit? Nice to chat, says Stevie. Oh, yeah, man, it's lovely when you get to chat people behind the scenes, yeah? And, you know, it makes such a difference. But thank you to everyone who's with us right now. So let's get into it. Let's do a quick global threat analysis, and we'll see what's going on in the world. And when we come back, we'll be checking out the comments and what's going on over the other things to do with Funky Prepper and where he is. Yes, indeed. Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up. We're going to have a quick look and see what's going on in the world. We like to do it, especially on nights like tonight. On a Friday, the 6th of December, 2024. We host Drew here on the Global Threat Analysis, giving you the SHTF Intel Report. So we're just going to have a gloss over, nothing too epic. We'll just check out the headlines, make sure there's nothing we're missing. Going to give us a hiccups. Thousands flee Syrian city Homs as rebels near its outskirts. We got Damascus. Sad now in Syria rebels sites. Romanian court annuls result of presidential election first round. The person of interest with the whole insurance company CEO. I have given myself hiccups. Cheers, everyone. Iran's uranium enrichment worrisome nuclear watchdog. Going to start trying to kick it off with that now. South Korean president ordered arrest of own party leader. Initiating the martial law that I reported on the other day. Oh dear. So loads going on, but not a lot going on, to be honest. But I'm keen to catch up with the earthquakes. That's the thing that's been hitting it. Sun's looking all right. Nothing to worry about there. But in terms of earthquakes, check it out. 105 earthquakes. It was 141 earlier when I looked. But 105 earthquakes. And they tend to be, as I thought they would be, as we talked about the other day, Look, 80 of those 105 earthquakes, for those that don't know, you typically see about 32 to 35 earthquakes daily as average. So 80 of the 105, so basically leaving the other 105, the other 25 are everywhere else. So basically all of those 105 versus normally 30 are all here, look. And this is, don't forget, we had the 7.0 earthquake off the coast of California, San Francisco. And actually, I did manage to find you. It's really, really low on the ground for footage, but I did find you this, which we will assume is from the event. It's how it's titled, it's how it's thumbnailed, it's how it's dated. But this is the best clip I've got for you. This is the. It looks like they're in an apartment or something. So this is the state of California.
Fuck yeah.
So I think there was something to do with the type of earthquake wave that it was meant that you didn't bring the buildings down. So it didn't look like as much damage there, but there's definitely some shaking going on. So we did report on that as it happened. That's interesting. So let's have a quick look here then. Other watchers, we've got the M7.0 earthquake that happened yesterday. It doesn't look like there's been much else going on for today though. Nothing for the 6th apart from what we got here. The earthquake swarm with Italy, increased seismic activity. Again, this is like volcanic and seismic activity more than anything. Red wind warnings. Funnily enough, Magic Hand said to me that it's going to get pretty windy, and it's getting pretty windy and pretty rainy for the UK. And some parts of the UK have already had a pretty hard time with floods and things, but it's coming in on the west coast here by the looks of it. So for those in the UK who are still awake at 1:45, this is what we're looking at over on the west coast, is where it's going to be the worst. You've got, in some cases there, looks like 70 to 80 mile an hour winds, I'd call that. So yeah, watch out for that if you're out and about tonight. When you're coming home from the nightclub in your mini skirts and your skinny jeans. Oh man, let's check it out then with the check it out the cryptocurrency. There's been some action there. Check it out. Oh look, it's down again. I was going to say it was at $101,000 for Bitcoin and 4,000 something for Ethereum, so it has dropped below that. But the market cap has definitely risen. It was talking about 2.7 trillion not that many months ago. Now we're talking about there being $3.7 trillion in combined crypto sheets. There's good like $1.5 billion billion added to the crypto sheet. So in terms of gold and silver prices, then we got about down 0.5% on gold over the week. Usually does crash it, smash it back down on a Friday. 1.6% increase on the silver. Given the yearly gains on that now, should have settled back down to 30%. It has. What about gold? On the year, 30%. Yeah, so it looks like they've basically settled themselves back. So you're doing pretty well if you got on cryptos. You're doing pretty well if you're on gold and silver. If you've got anything else, sorry about your luck. So I think that pretty much rounds up our global threat analysis. So it means we can get back to everything else now. Cybernetic, good to see you, Crypto Frog. I only found you today. Am I 1 year? Is our relationship 1 year old? 1 year old, Antonia? Here's to the start of a wonderful relationship. Learning about prepping and survival and how to do it with a smile on your face and a kick in your step. Cheers, everyone. Love, peace, and progress to the pack. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for making this place what it is. Couldn't do it without you. I guess that case against that man who jumped in to help Subway was thrown out of court. Don't know what that's about. Sorry, I'm jumping into conversations halfway through. What's the best crypto to invest in? I'm all about the limiting liability, dude. I ain't about to start telling people how to lose money accidentally and then be liable for it. I'm not that silly. But yeah. However, Bitcoin price peaks and troughs coincide with new and full moon cycles. Interesting. Ripple is the one up recently. Yeah, there's some other stuff. Solana's a good Hulk Tour crypto, brilliant. Yeah, or the Tom Birchie crypto is another one. Don't even go there. Shh. No. Come on. Dr. Gonzo in the house. Cheers, bigger uncle. I've got down to the bottom already. What time is the spoon whittling till tutorials? Do you know what? Now you've said it. Do you want to see my spoon whittling skills? That was the last one I whittled down. I know it's quite fat, but I like to do soupy-like type spoons. I did that about 2 years ago, actually. 21 was it? 2021, I think I did that one. I think it come out all right. There were some things I was going to do. I was going to sand it down and make it nice and, you know, like, but I kind of like the whittled look. I don't know if you can see it. You know, I've got like real nice spoon carving knife. But yeah, I enjoy stuff like that. You're right to bring it up because, you know, but we're in the global threat analysis report right now. We're talking about news going on. Nighty night. Aaron. Hope you're alright. Yeah, we can't be having hurty words. Nice, I do wood carving as a hobby too. Nice looking spoon. Yeah, I was quite pleased how it came out. That was the first time I tried doing a spoon like that. And only the second time I've even tried using my... It's a special spoon knife, do you know what I mean? It's like... But it's lovely. I did get really nice spoon carving knives. I got a nice set. 3 of them. 3 different types and things. But it's nice to have. Spoons made me overweight. That's more of a small ladle, says Vinegar Mungle. Do you reckon? Maybe it needs different lighting. Let's shove on the Hugo Bear camera. This is Hugo Bear. He's not in it today. Nah, it's overexposed on here as well, isn't it? I was just hoping I could get a better view of it. Sorry. Boom. Buzzing, I found this channel. Don't tase me, bro. No, I appreciate it, Noose. Is your name still up here? You got knocked off the list. but your name popped up here, so really appreciate you, man. You should join the Discord server. You'll love it over there. And talking of global threat analysis, right, in here, I built this whole SHF Intel where you got breaking news, you got good news stories, you got Clown World, stuff about shortages and economic collapse and global conflict, right? So you got your news section here. This is the Sigma products. I'm a product developer and survivalist, and I write books and things about survival and prepping, and preparing. And then this is the prepping intel. So this is like our knowledge base here in the Sigma Prepper community. So things like water storage and filtration. There's my filtering lake water. This is my new electronic ultimate water filtration kit by Sigma Prepper, which basically just is me. I'm an electronic engineer, by the way. So I've modified a 12-volt pump to run off a USB-C power delivery trigger board, which I just soldered up. So it means that I can run my water pump from somewhere like this, and I can just shove my hose pipe, misses, into the lake, suck it up, through the filter, Sawyer filter mini, through a platypus carbon, into my bottle of choice, into my Kelly kettle. Yeah. In fact, I think in cooking tips, is it? Yes, here's my Kelly kettle wild camping review. The ultimate, how to make the ultimate fire in your Kelly kettle, right? And then I boil up the water that I filtered. Yeah. And then glug, 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 have my cup of tea. And video all along the way. So what I'm saying is that get yourself in here, because there's so much like knowledge in here and stuff. This is just my stuff I'm showing you, but look at everyone else's stuff that they've put in, of all cool stuff they've found around the interwebs. So it's a great place to be. It's free to join. Get yourself in there, just like someone here has done. Mark, welcome. Let's give you some Wolfpack love. Let's icon you. Let's make sure I've iconed everyone. Yes. Okay. I don't want anyone feeling left out and stuff, because I know how that ends. So go and join us in there. Next stop is animal lovers. Share your pets, because these are the things this is why we're prepping, right? Because we love our loved ones and our animals, and we want to keep them safe as well. So please go and share that. It's a great place to be. And like I say, you've got that whole intel area for stuff going on, news going on you want to share. It's a great place to be. So thank you to everybody for making it what it is. So what have we done? We've blasted through everything, really. We were going to have memes, but I didn't really set it up for tonight, because I thought it was going to be a quick one, because I only had like 5 hours sleep and I didn't get to sleep till 7 a.m. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm just saying, right? I'm just giving myself a little bit of like an excuse. Thank you, everyone. So let's get out of this then. We'll get back to base camp, back to the magic forest, right? Where we can regroup, and we'll see what people are saying over on Matey Boy's channel for the Funky Prepper, and we close out and we'll do our after party, again featured on the Discord channel, where we go and talk in our after party room. And up until Christmas we're doing that for public. Usually it's only for the VIP Patreon members, which is like a cup of coffee a month worth of sheets investment. But anyway, let's get out of here. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, everyone. Hit the like button. Right, we can unbuckle, take deep breaths. I can close this whole window of tabs. And we can get back to the chat and see what been Guam. What been Guam. I've seen it, mate. Nice one. Whoosh. Gang signs. I like wood and carvings. I would like to do more, to be honest. On my next wild camp, I am intending on building a bit of furniture. I'd like to build a chair. Do you know, even my missus, Sigma Prepper, has built a chair in the forest with wood. And I haven't. So, if you carve spoons and want to move up to ladies, are you branching out? No pun intended. Carving. Are you talking about carving a lady into a... Yeah. I want to try wood burning, says Robert, because he's freezing. Are you still freezing, Robert? Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Love these clips. Great touch. I don't know what that's to do with. Right, so let's get back to Bidney. Because I wanted to see what was going on in Matey Boy's video here with those... Oh no, sorry, what I need to do is be looking at people who have been putting comments on mine. Right? So let's have a look then. Right? So thank you everybody who commented on yesterday's video. And I just was a little bit overwhelmed with like, oh man, 78 comments. Where do I even start? Let's just refresh it so we don't miss anyone out. Might have been someone since. Let's just pause it. How's it looking? Oh, well, sorry, I'm completely in the wrong place. Oh no. I mean, I'm not, but I am. Hold on. Right, 78 comments. It looks like there is indeed 78 comments. So, what does the migrant crisis have to do with prepping? Are you being serious? What the actual you-know-what? Did you actually ask that? Dude, you got no business being a prepper. YouTuber, if you're asking stupid questions like this. Yeah, man. Someone's replied to that. Oh no. It continues. Other than that, Doozy, you seem like an alright channel. I'll give you a chance. Oh, okay. Both 2 hours ago, so there was... I don't know which one I'm going with here. What does the migrant crisis have to do with prepping? Okay, the first thing, I think I said it was just because let's like it. We won't love it, but we will like it because we've got to give some respect. What I'd say to that is that it doesn't really have much to do with it because that's not something that's going to cause you to be in a crisis to the point where you need preps. And my issue is that when people look overview of the channel and a lot of things you see is like bladed items and, you know, things, you know, stuff like that. I'm just saying the two don't go together very well. If you're talking about it now and again, it's all right. If it's only thing you talk about, seemingly, disproportionately at least. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. There's World War III is about to break out, right? The economy is about to collapse. Yeah? There's restrictions coming in left, right and centre, loads of stuff going on in the world. There's a million other things going on. As I mentioned on my website, well, if you go on signalprepper.com, right, if you go SHTF Intel, in here, I've laid it all out in terms of what the risks are. And none of them here is immigration. Right? And in terms of what sort of prepper I am, I hate to say it, but I'm the guy who's written like books on the subject, massive books on the subject for years, been special guests on channels all over the world since 2006, right? So it's not like I'm just got an issue. It's just, you know what I mean? It doesn't have anything to do really with prepping because it's like, what you're suggesting is that you're going to do something about it, or that is going to cause, if literally the only thing left now is to leave. However sad that is, because once it's happened, it can't unhappen. You can't round people up and send them home, wherever home is. So you have to accept that until from the top it stops, you can't do anything on the ground to stop it. And it itself isn't something that's going to cause you to need food and need water stored and know how to filter water and know how to set up off-grid power bank systems and so on. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have a place in it. So I hope that's kind of like covered that a bit. Honestly, shame is the most likely reason for someone to behave like that. He probably had to go and get in the job system that he hates so much and spend years railing on his fans, cheating him on. I don't believe he was arrested, but I'm not 100%. It's not a bad theory. Okay, thank you and thank you. So I used to watch his vids, but when he continuously kept asking for donations, I stopped watching. Yeah, it's a fine line between needing some help to stay alive and, you know, making it the largest part of your content. I know other channels like that who became like that, and they used to do really cool information, and all of a sudden it was like they wouldn't even do a video with information. They'd do a video complaining how not enough people had donated to them. And it's like, what? You haven't done any videos that have any value, and because the only videos you've done is complaining about people not giving you donations. You see what I'm saying? You just have to do good videos and the donations will work for themselves. Believe me, you don't need to ask. If you need to ask, you're not making good enough videos that are generating enough value for people that they want to show their appreciation in the form of a donation, or they want to show their support because they understand what you're trying to do and want to help you to get there. Yeah? So they've got a dog in the race, that are invested in you, right? So donations aren't always a negative thing, but they are when people are being made to feel guilty for not. I'm always careful not to do that. Everyone feels uncomfortable asking for money, but when I get a donation, when I get somebody who wants to see me break into the point where it's self-sufficient financially and to try and contribute to be a part of that, and they understand that the return on their investment is that by keeping the creator online, you're maintaining that flow of knowledge and information that you're valuing. Do you see? It's an exchange of goods that's consensual. But when you're asking or you're making people feel obliged or guilty for not, I think that's where it becomes like, so I just make sure that I don't ask for donations, but when they happen, I show what it means to me and my appreciation in every way I can, which is why I always try and list all the VIP Patreon supporters' names and things, as well as all the discounts they get and the after parties, one-on-one time with me and things like this, right? Just subscribe. Thank you, Camper Van John. Thank you, Prepper is a Fraud. So UK Dan Rob. And bear in mind, sorry, I haven't read any of these, so I do apologise if I start reading something and it's got bad words in it, but we'll just have to take the risk. Hi, I can't believe I've not come across you before, but this video just popped up on my feed. UK Dan Rob doesn't sound familiar. The algorithm helped you this time. Cool. Looking forward to checking out your content in Discord. Okay, smart. Have we seen a Dan Rob enter the building on Discord? We'll have to have a look. Welcome if you have. This was a great analysis and very informative. I met Funky Prepper a couple of times at Prepper meets, and unfortunately wasn't impressed with him as a person or a prepper. Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that, and I really appreciate those kind comments. It means a lot to me. When you work very, really hard and nothing ever seems to come out the other end of it, anyone appreciating my efforts is really, really, it's cool. Somebody in the comments ages ago said they went to one of his meetups and Funky Darren was rude and arrogant. He's never been arrogant to me at any meets, to be fair. Okay. Thank you. And this is what I wanted tonight. I wanted people to share their own experiences and things, and if they feel that this is likely, and if they agree with me in terms of where he may have pushed the line a little bit much, where he's been a little bit too oriented towards the sort of aggressive and divisive kind of topics that are the no-go areas that he seems oblivious to, which is just a really bad move, right? I have always loved your analysis situations, picking for profit. I love methodical mind. I hadn't given him much thought, to be honest, but did not believe that it was restricted on YouTube. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. If he has done something wrong, it's not associated with his YouTube channel, as that would be pulled offline first. Yeah. Now, do bear in mind, I will say on that, thank you, Jongmans. He also had a second backup channel. Yeah, I don't know if I know what that is or have seen it, but I would assume that anyone who come across it and there was things going on it, they would have mentioned it. So I think that's why I subbed you. Black sheep of the family, different outlook. Thank you, Fleming Dice. Jonathan Hayes. We know Jonathan Hayes. Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for the insights. I unsubscribed from him some time ago. Too much about migrants and plan. Oh, is that Plane trails? Oh, you mean like, yeah. Oh, really? Interesting. Thanks, John. I really appreciate your comment, buddy. So we've got here as well, Horace Rumpole. Thank you for your comment. Funky Grifter is the best example of the Dunning-Kruger effect I have ever come across. Textbook example, also just subbed. Yes, 100% Dunning-Kruger effect. I've talked about this at length when I've talked about various things, but the Dunning-Kruger effect is when somebody first gets into something, they tend to, as a percentage of what they know about the subject, they become overwhelmed by the amount of it's a sharp learning curve. And so as a result, they feel like they know everything about everything in the first 6 months. Doesn't matter if you've been doing it 10 months, 10 years or not. This Dunning-Kruger effect is different depending on various things such as intelligence and stuff like that as to how quick this time period is. But the Dunning-Kruger effect is where you're overconfident in what you know. And it's not until you get to the point of being wise rather than just educated or knowledgeable, right? Wisdom comes from the application of knowledge, right? Or the observation of application of knowledge in a third party. Anyway, we're not going to get it. Wisdom comes from converting. And so the thing is before that comes, you think you know everything, and it's only until you then go through this thing where you realize there's this whole other thing you don't know about, and then there's this whole other thing you don't know about, and you realize how little you knew. And so when you come down the Dunning-Kruger curve, you're then over the other side looking back, yeah? And you know where they are on the scale, but the person who's just doesn't really have a clue, they're looking at it from the top of a peak that they think they're at the top. But what they don't realise is they've got a massive drop coming and a massive slog to the real top. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in terms of psychology. It's a little bit like that quote, intelligent people are all full of doubt whilst unintelligent people are all full of, confidence. Yeah, something like that. Intelligent people are all full of doubt while unintelligent people are always full of confidence. And that's why people end up, because this is where you end up with people. There are people that not very intelligent people think are intelligent people. Yeah, there's a classic type of person, and they tend to be grifters and, you know, things like this. You know, charlatans and things, and snake oil salesmen and things. That what you tend to find is that the defining thing is that they're the people that not very clued up people think are clued up people, which aren't always the people that are actually clued up. I think this is what this guy's trying to say. Anyway, I'm sure we're labouring the point. So angelically possessed, liking it already. At the end of your video, I found myself so enthralled. What a lovely word. Oh, my darling. How enthralling. I must say, Drew, how enthralled I was at your video. I'm not suggesting that you speak like that, my lovely. At the end of your video, I found myself so enthralled and engrossed in what you were telling me, the information, and the example you were setting, I'd forgotten to subscribe and like. But don't worry, I got there at the end. Thank you so much. Isn't that lovely? This is what makes it all worthwhile. People like you, angelically possessed. You're going to be Sigma Preppily possessed now. Really appreciate it. Thank you. What a lovely comment. There was a quote, we're doing air quotes, forever national television broadcast back in the days before YouTube. Can't remember if it was Channel 4 or BBC. It featured Funky as one of the preppers. Right, come on. The Sigma Prepper investigation Wolfpack team needs to be getting out there with your clipboards, right? We need to be finding what's going on with this. We need episodes. We need reruns. Thank you very much, Richard Milliken. Appreciate your taking the time to comment on the video. Camper Van John watched it. Confirmed. That's confirmed. It exists. Somebody's confirmed it. I do wonder, says Marsh Girl, if he was living in the Brecons going slightly mad in isolation. you know, it's funny you say that because people tried to debunk my... Where is it? This is one of my books here. This is The Ultimate Guide to Prepping. But I got here, right? You see this 3 months without love? This doesn't really exist. This is like my own thing that I add on, right? And it was like, no, there is no 3 months without anything. I was like, well, there is in my rule of threes, right? Which is the 3 minutes without air, the 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and 3 months without love. Now, the reason I've got that in there, emotional and social well-being, right? Humans need emotional support to thrive. Without love, kindness, and human interaction, mental health can deteriorate significantly over 3 months, impacting overall well-being and survival. Building a supportive community and maintaining positive relationships are crucial, especially in survival situations. Right? And so when someone says, what are you talking about? It's like, well, you know, when you see old matey boy Tom Hanks on the island with his little football friend, Wilson, right? It can get lonely out there. Yeah? And so it can make you go a little bit doolally being in isolation. Thank you, Marsh Girl. It's a good point. No doubt, given the opportunity to vote in our live poll that we have rocking tonight, if you are joining us live, please do feel free to go and join in the fun with our live poll to let us know what you think. I'm the only one who's seems to be giving people a platform to let us know what you think. Let's work together to unwrap this thing. People are concerned about his welfare, as am I. Firstly, because he's a fellow prepper. Secondly, because he's a fellow creator. Thirdly, because he lives in the same country as me. And fourth, anything that he does that makes all of us other preppers look bad, believe me, is a concern of mine. What do you think happened to Funky Prepper? And the reason it's version 2 is because we ran this yesterday and now I'm going to run it today and we're going to see how those answers or the poll results have changed. We'll be calling that before the end of the show tonight. What do you think happened to Funky Prepper? Kicking it in the Caribbean, personal/health issues, arrested by police on the bail, or banned from YouTube as claimed. So personal health issues, I'm guessing, is what our Marsh Girl would have gone for. He is, says Ian Palmer. We've seen Ian Palmer in the chat tonight. Richard McMillan, there is one other situation in the UK where access to any devices can be banned by the police. Interesting. Against an adult before any legal actions, though, in courts. This may be a darker allegation. Hate speech, let's not go there. With all we got going on with P. Diddy at the moment in America, we don't want anything going on near like that. Generally, once someone appears in court, there is traceability. Interesting. Bosh, bosh. So that's what I think, says John Mans. I think, although I don't think it's X-rated stuff. Okay. Hopefully not. Deducing his last upload, broken down the main road. Well, we all know who turns up. Old William. Is it really? That's interesting. I stopped watching FP as he was making my anxiety bad, says Marsh. God bless. I have a shed with a cooker and gas that I don't know how to connect, emergency or not. Oh, God. Stupid radios that wind up and do not do what's promised, my darling. Was considering a jackery. Don't, but glad I left the channel as he was costing me a lot of money on health funds. I live alone. Marsh Girl, come and find me. Come on. Get in the wolf pack here. Every single one of the people here are here to help you immediately. This is why in the lyrics of my tune that I wrote, in the break time tune, in the beginning tune, says from a single lone woman to a family of 5. Stick with Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive. It's learn from Sigma Prepper. See how you can thrive. But there is no need for you to be having any of these problems, Marsh Girl. We are here to help. And we need our... Sorry. It's an emergency. Right, go. We are here to help. Oh, what am I doing? Right, ASM Porium. No one cares where he is. I don't see why people choose to make content out of his disappearance. Secondly, he's not a leader, face of prepping community. So no one owns a prepping community. Yeah, man. There are other preppers seem to be very keen on delegating this kind of role for themselves, but it's very transparent and very desperate. Yeah, man. Let's just like and love that one and move on. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Right. Vobes could have done a live stream with him on his channel to clear things up, but he didn't, so I suspect social media ban is in place. Click. Michael Holmes. Sono d'accordo, mio amico. Lindsay Ann. I think my comments have been hidden for months. Can someone let me know if they still see this? We wouldn't be hidden from me. Does she know this is not Funky Prepper website? YouTube channel. I think my comments. Do you think people see there's moderator daily survival? Do you think they think this is Funky Preppers? Because I don't go removing anyone's comment. I don't give anyone any reason to make a bad comment in the first place. I don't mean to be but I'm just saying, you know. Oh, look at Wandering Womble. Wandering into the live chat and subscribing. Thank you very much for joining. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Cheers to you as our most recentest subscriber. Yeah. Even more knowledge base, collective and grey matter between us all to solve these problems that are becoming big threats. What's this? Somebody has made hilarious funky parody. He's called Flunky Prepper. We won't be clicking on it, but hi bro, he has always been a dodgy lad. Classic. Funky Darren is on a beach somewhere. Kicking it in the Caribbean is what they would have voted in the live poll. Please vote in the live poll if you just joined us. It's free. Glad he could get his mate to pass the begging bowl. Oh. Wow. Saucer of milk, table 12. Saucer of milk, table 12. Incoming. Amazing. Thank you. Oh, it's so entertaining. It shouldn't be. Funky seemed a tad dim to me, so never watched a full vid. There isn't any... Is there a way of... Can you like it twice? Can we pin? We can pin? I'm joking. Sorry. Stopped watching Richard Vobes many years ago. Too many inconsistencies. Funky Prepper was just the same. Too many inconsistencies. It's interesting, isn't it, how one attracts like attracts like and stuff. I mean, again, as I said yesterday, I hadn't really come across this guy here, this Richard guy, apart from just in sort of swiping through social media like TikTok, and he'd pop up now and again with like people clips out of people's videos about stuff. I don't even remember what he talked about, but I remember watching it till the end, so I thought, oh, he's all right. You know, he's got some interesting views or whatever, but I don't remember what the videos were or what even he talks about. But it was, yeah, again, I was sent that by somebody. Where's mine? Where's mine? I'm lost. Here we are. Right, where do we get to? Here we go, John. Stop with the inconsistencies. Yep, Robert. Yep, Richard. Oh, okay, sorry. We're talking about Richard Vobes. Yep, Richard can be inconsistent, and what he's talked about in this year's videos, he talked about in last year's. Interesting. Thank you for your comment. Funky was just a grifter, always after money, nothing more, nothing less. Oh, man. We're hearing this a lot, aren't we? Hey, Drew, are you referring to the... I don't know what that is. CL advice? Don't know. I watched, and my critical comment was there and gone. I even called out the... Oh, I see. I think this is to do with like him removing my comment when I tried to correct one of his mistakes or misinformations on one of his videos. As to why my comment wasn't published, also noticed some of the content of advice in my comments being used in future videos. Interesting. Oh, for they disappeared from other screens yet still present on mine. How rude is that? Great having independent application appliances, shadow banning. Yeah, they had no true knowledge of the subject. I test until the bell rings true. Elder Sigma female here with a vast experience and knowledge. No one to chew the fat with until now I have. But the funky bandwagon may have played the Monopoly poorly with no free parking and landing on the go to jail, innit? Straight to jail. Overcooked the fish, straight to jail. Undercooked the chicken, straight to jail. Classic. But a funky bandwagon may have played, I love this the woman already, played Monopoly poorly with no free parking and landing on the go to jail directly. Do not pass go and do not collect 200 sheets. He has no get out of jail free card in his hand to play. The truth will out always does. 100%. Once seen, never forgotten. Amen. What can I tell you, Tracy? I like you, girlfriend. Cheers to you. I like anyone who's put a comment on my video, even if you disagree. Don't forget, if both people in a conversation agree, one of them isn't needed. Cheers. Right. Bucket list requires a strong arm. Me, YouTube, face ache and zero laugh. Don't know, but thank you for your comment. Funky Prepper never trusted him, 100%. Spidey senses all the way. You said your channel came before Funky Prepper. It says you joined YouTube in 2022. His channel was created in 2012 and he has 139 followers. And it says you have 881 followers. So I don't get how he's copying your channel has been around longer. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bosh. Yes, I've been on YouTube far longer than both. YouTube changed. It became necessary to have several different channels to get the truth out there. They shut you down. You restart. Survival. The truth must evolve. Yeah. So, yeah, that's based on, like, if you look at his X account, you'll see here it was in June 2022, which is after my channel started up, right? What I'm saying is that he rebranded. It was like a sudden change in direction and boost. And there was a sudden, and this coincides as well, don't forget, was what I showed you when you look on his thing here, and he suddenly deleted back here 170,000 views worth of videos, leaving what he's got left. So you're absolutely right. He has been online since 2012. I've got a channel now, and my moderators in the chat will tell you I don't do lying. I'm all about detecting lying. I'm a truth seeker at the end of the day, right? They will tell you I've got a YouTube channel that's been running 18 years. 18 years I've had YouTube channel running. But bear in mind I ran a media company and owned a media company for many years, built over 80 YouTube channels for people around the world, right, for my clients. So this is something close to my heart, right? But what I'm saying is that when you look at the thing, Bob, when you look at the videos, they suddenly switched and the Funky Prepper thing became a thing. And when he started doing the shows, he called his show something similar to mine. I'm not going to go into it. And get into that, right? But there was other things. There was like people were saying, oh, he's using the same phrases as me. And when they look back, they'd been following him and he'd never used those phrases before. And when I came out, it's not about when he started, it's about when I started. And clearly he had seen my videos. And that was what made me even more annoyed, was the fact that he clearly must have known who I was when I'd put that comment in there saying, hold on a minute, matey boy. You don't want to be putting that much in there. People are going to get unalived. You need to be putting 10 to that in there. And then when that was removed and then I was banned from the channel, it's like he knew probably who I was before that, and he just didn't want people to find me because, of course, people find me, and I've had it already for 2 years of people saying, you know, I found you and realised how much disinformation and misinformation I've been receiving over the years. Right? This isn't something that I've just followed a load of prepping channels and then I don't watch other people's prepping channels. I am the prepping channel. I don't mean that in a funny way, as in the prepping channel, but I'm saying when you're the person who's the person designing and making survival gear and you're the one writing survival and prepping guide books and you're the one who's making the videos that are all completely unique and innovative stuff, nothing of mine could be copied. I'm the one who comes out with things like prepping profiles and all these concepts that I've delivered in some of my presentations over the years and on this channel. And it doesn't mean that you can't be copied it's because those things started when my channel started, which is a continuation of other channels that I've had problems with in the past, right? This is me starting again. But it's extremely difficult because of the resistance I've had, and YouTube hasn't helped me in any way, shape or form. And, you know, some things happening along the way as well that meant I had to take some time out from this channel, right? So, how long you've had a channel doesn't really make much difference. How long you've been a prepper. I know people who've been a prepper for 30 years and don't know shit. I know people who've been prepping for 2 years and are like way out there. Way out there. So, but thank you. I do appreciate you bringing that up because it meant that I could reiterate what I really was talking about. Not that he's only just started his channel. Clearly not. Because when you look at his videos and you go to oldest, they go back to, like you say, 2012. But what I'm saying is that there was a distinct change in 2022 at the beginning of, which also coincided with this 22 beginning of 170,000 video views removed. The only way you lose video views is by removing the videos that were on them. So that's all I'm saying about that. Anyway, I think we've laboured that point. So Julie, wait. Hi, just came across your channel. I am subscribed with Funky, but I agree with everything you have said. Love your channel, so I have subscribed. Oh, cool. With you. I am also from the UK and finding a good prepping channel in the UK is hard. Glad I came across you. Thank you so very much. Much appreciated. Isn't that lovely? We already like Julie, don't we? And this isn't some confirmation bias thing where I'm only liking people who like me back. But that is generally the way that life works, right? And when someone doesn't like you, it's difficult to like them. Although I love everybody. I even love trees, which is why I hug them. Anyway, Pedigree Mongrel in the house. Welcome to the pack. It's the unfortunate algorithm. There are quite a few decent prepping channels out there. Unfortunately, they don't get much reach. This channel is great for the crystal ball stuff, analysis of events, and taking a look at tech that can help with SHGF. The Discord server is packed with decent. I need to start paying you, Pedigree Mongrel, to as my marketing dude. They're knowledge well worth a look. Look, how much do you need? Nothing, because there's no budget. But when there is a budget, send us your CV. Silent Walk, first time watch. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I watched him as well. Okay, that's cool. From Canada, is that? Where my sister lives? Vobes. 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 Yikes. Darren Calhoun, great to see you, my man. Who's this? Tez Hop. Great breakdown, Drew. Sounds a bit dodged, to be frank, mate. However, let's not speculate at the moment. Truth always comes out in a wash. Do you know what I mean, son? I agree. I agree. But that's why we're here to speculate, because that's what we enjoy doing. We're the sort of... We're the inquisitive kind, and it's obviously important for us as creators, as well as, you know, British, as it could be seen, preppers, when you've got something that potentially like this could be a thing. That's the whole point of prepping, is you're getting ready for the potential of something so that if it happens, it already, you know, if you leave it and this, you can't have a mindset of waiting until it's happened and then we'll decide what we think about it. No, what I specialize in is looking at what are the statistical... If current trends continue and you to extrapolate those events forward, what is that typically, statistically most likely going to result in? Find that. Reverse engineer back what are you going to need to protect yourself from that. And then you can start protecting yourself from that. And then when it comes, you're already prepared. You already know the score. You already knew that was an option. You've already got your contingencies. Here me now. That's what I'm chatting about. So I will speculate day in, day out, and I can't tell my brain not to because I'm sorry, but that is part of my weirdness. I can't shake off. But thank you for your comment. Appreciate it, Tez Hot. No name, so just says, Richard Vobes said a lot of inconsistent things about FP's situation. I've also been banned from FP's live chats for utterly unknown reasons. The whole thing stinks, 100%. Given that Funky Prepper has, quote, lost. You see, I don't want to start going about people's grammar. That's not what I was just about to do. But I was just going to say, I would have just had lost in the quotes his laptop. That's all. Shouldn't have said that out loud. Given that Funky Prepper has lost his laptop and has no phone, there is a strong implication that he has had his laptop and phone seized, 100%. Oh, I'll show you less days there. Thank you. Replies, what we got here. Crosshatch. How many people do you think... See, what's that? Get a post up. I don't own a phone, but I have friends that do. Oh, I could get a post up, sorry. I don't own a phone. This This is like Gen Alpha speak for those that are like Millennium XYZ. And how many people do you think could get a post up? I don't own a phone, but I have friends that do. That calls out BS, isn't it? 100%. Thank you, my man. LOL. Ho ho ho. Richard likes to make stuff up. A lot of people don't like Richard, it seems. I'm glad I was, you know, I've only, like I say, come across him a few times, and he seems like a cool guy, but I've only seen like cumulatively probably about 90 seconds of anything he's ever had to say. Never judge a book by his character, by his cover. Anyway, Richard likes to make stuff up. That's why he had a couple of strikes this year and got demonetized. Yeah, it's never a good look. And still is demonetized. Oh, interesting. He says it was going too close to the truth. Really, Richard? So it's true that you're going to buy some land after 2 years of talking about it so you can become a farmer? Yeah, right. I'm not familiar with any of that, but I guess this guy is. Thank you for your contribution to the conversation. TCP87, you make a lot of sense. Glad I came across this video on your channel. Thank you. Muchos gracias. I found Funky Prepper's channel wasn't so much a visit to the rabbit hole as a whole crazy Warren. Not for me. Nung Roy. Procento. I went off Funky Prepper over a few vids. Stay safe and keep prepping, folks, from the Lone Wolf Prepper. There he is. We had him in the live chat, but I think he had to dash. Appreciate it. Marine Mark. So, let's put these ducks in a row. He's been banned, so he can't make any beans. So I reckon he's headed off to CEX and sold all his electronics to get through the festive period and pay his rent. Gutted my alien abduction anal probe over Manchester theory isn't proving accurate. Oh, read more. There's more. There's more. If they then remind you... Oh, hold on. There's even more than more. Where are we? What's happened? Sorry, we got from there to there. Oh, that was where it ended. Sorry. My thing suddenly flipped up and it was like, oh, bail requires you. This is interesting. Mr. Tian. Oh, thank you, Dr. Jesse. Great to see you. Bail requires you to accept it and the conditions it comes with. If you refuse, you are calling their bluff and they have to choose between charging you and remanding you to go to court or dropping it all. However, you can then issue your charge of, say, 100 bags of sand per hour. And if an hour is worked, then you bill for the hour. Many hours in prison can result in you charging them millions for your time, as long as you tell them your hourly fee when they decide to change the means you accepted your billing rate. I see what you're getting at. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be trying any of that. Which could be plausible if anything you do beyond that point could be considered work or lack thereof and schemes. Yeah, let's just... He was always late by a few days with news, like he's done with YouTube homework, then just repeated it after I saw it 4 or 5 times. 100%. Very observant. Yes, exactly what I saw. Never heard of him. Carolyn Rose, my darling, from Australia. My favouriteest person from Australia. Similar to Oz, are your AI question answering, ceasing all of electronics for a certain time for scouring over would be the norm, regardless of an investigation going on further or not. How'd this other guy get in contact with him? All sus. Sigma, you could report him for taking your content and any misinformation. He was subtle about it. Maybe he stepped on someone else's toes using their content too and they weren't going to put up with it. Yeah. And again, it looks like he was just stealing people's information, removing it from the comments and then putting it out as a video the next day as being his. I've had someone like that. Not him, but I've had someone else like that on another channel for something else. It's classic. Anyway, Pedigree Mongrel. This is a big one. I don't think we'll read all replies because otherwise the people who put in the comments on don't get anything. You need to go in and have a little butchers. Makes sense, says Space Hopper Mark. Thank you, my man. I think he's been arrested and bailed. Fits time-wise and not being allowed to use phone or go online or go on X or Instagram. They would extend his bail several times. This is why I thought it's a bit interesting that he called out the middle of January. I thought maybe that's when his court date is or maybe that's when he's thinking he's going to get his shit back or whatever. I don't know. Tsunami warning got removed just yeah, okay, thank you, Pedigree Mongrel. We were on it. Thank you, Miss Worm. Tracy Smith as well. Dutch is back on. They're talking about Dutch since, more than likely. Pedro Mongrel, giving bad prepping guides is no joke. Someone down the road could seriously come unstuck. No one has monopoly on all the answers, but if someone knows how to do something better and points out a flaw in what they're doing, don't censor them, you acknowledge it. 100%. And like, I had lots of people say to me yesterday when I said, you know, anyone who's followed this channel will know anytime there's even any slightest skepticism of whether this is like the accurate truth or not, we will look it up together. Right? I don't care who is right. I care what is right. You need to be careful of the people that care more about who's right than what's right. That's not the scientific approach. I couldn't be a computer programmer in 12 different programming languages if I had that mindset. Do you know what I mean? You can't be a prototyping engineer or an electronic engineer if you're not going to be accountable. Because I've written literally millions of lines of code in projects of like my AI survival system that I'm building for everybody, right? Tactical survival system, right? And in those millions of lines of code, we're not even going to get into it, sorry. We're supposed to be getting through this. I've got to keep back on track. Funky Prepper is, I'm sorry. Is a tool label prepper is lunatics. I watched. I'm just saying, if you do a mistake, because people get annoyed when I do that, and I'm trying to close things down so we don't go off. When you're computer programming, if you just get one comma, one semicolon in the wrong place out of millions of lines, not characters, millions of lines of code, when you try and compile it, it just won't compile and you won't know why. But what you do is you have to acknowledge that it's a mistake I've made somewhere, not bashing up the computer because it's like, oh, why are you? Self-accountability. It's like, oh, where's the mistake I've made? The quicker I can find my mistake, the quicker I can fix it. So when you do that, for many, many years, and your brain does tune to that, so you don't care about who's right and ego and all this nonsense. Ego is an inhibitor to knowledge. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. And which is why I really like it when somebody admits out loud that they don't understand something, because it gives me an opportunity to then reword it, put it in a different analogy, explain it in a different way. Do you know what I mean? And then they can. It's the people, you know what it's like when you were at school and you really wanted to ask a teacher at the back of the class and you just really wanted, you didn't get it and you felt like everyone else did get it and you didn't really want to be the one to put your hand up. The only way you can create an environment where people feel comfortable, friendly, open and able to put their hand up is when the teacher doesn't have so much of an ego that they can't learn something themselves. Yeah? So I think we've got to the end of our... I hope I've answered everybody's comments kind of on there. I know that's a bit of a lazy way of doing it and I haven't actually written anything, but I hope I've... those people that have been here and watching it may watch it afterwards. I do hope I've covered a lot of what we spoke about. How long we've been rocking? Nearly 3 hours, man. We got to get rocking. This is going crazy on. And I'm reasonably... Let us know. We haven't really had... What I'd like to do... I really need to make a fresh cuppa. And there's some other things I would like to talk to you about. But it's only going to be short. So bear with us. We're going to go on a short break. If you want to stay with us, cool. We're going to be having the after party as well. Straight after this show. We'll try and do that in the next 20 minutes. But give us 5 minutes. So a quick break. Make a cup of tea. See you back here in a minute. Love, peace and progress to the pack. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Welcome back. Sorry about that. We had to do a quick break. Thank you so much. 6th of December, it's not anymore, it's the 7th. Welcome to Saturday here in the UK. Thank you to everyone being with me. I'm Drew, this is the Sigma Proper channel. And made myself a new brew, so love, peace and progress to the pack. Thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you to our new subscribers. Thank you to those being patient with the way I deliver stuff. And thank you for everybody who's commented on my videos, shared my videos, and liked them. Thank you. Cheers to you all. And thank you for joining in for this live analysis. I did notice, actually, first and foremost, Pilgrim, I'm so sorry. It looks like there's been some comments I've been missing of yours. Let me rewind. I noticed a few have been deleted and things. It looks like it's been getting a bit heated with you in there. I saw you way early on and I haven't seen... since, so I'm just checking it out. I mean, if you want, Pilgrim, you're more than welcome to come in as a live guest right now and talk to me if you want. Yeah, let me know if you're up for that, dude. It looks like you've got quite a lot of to say about it. I literally run back from the kitchen. I've just brewed my tea. I've just taken my tea bags out of my tea. I didn't even get time to brew it in the kitchen. Cheers, everyone. But I realise we haven't called the vote yet as well. So please vote live in the poll tonight, because we've got a great poll going to get some idea of where people stand on it. Look at that, the horde busters. Whoosh, busting out hoarders. Busting out them hoarders. Great to have you with us. Thank you for joining the Wolfpack. Thank you. Please go and get yourself over on the Discord server as well. That's completely free to join. The link's in the description. This is what it looks like, and there's loads of stuff to do. And a complete knowledge base of prepping intel, all categorized for you for your convenience, plus all the SHF intel stuff, all again categorized, whether you're into global conflict stuff or Clownwell good news stories or so on. Right, Sigma Prepper products. I develop my own products as well for survival prepping, including writers' books for prepping and survival guides and things. Your memes, get your memes in there. We need more quotes as well. Bit thin on the ground with the old Sigma mindset quotes. Let's get some nice inspirational, motivational quotes in there for the next show tomorrow. And please share your animals. Thank you to all those that have. Really appreciate each and every one of you, making it a great place, a great community. But here's the vote we've got going tonight, so please do. This is the version 2. We did one last night. We're doing the one tonight to see if it varies at all. What do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? Do you think he's kicking it in the Caribbean? Do you think he's personal/health issues? Or do you think he's arrested by the Popo and on bail with conditions, meaning he can't go online and stuff? Or is he just banned from YouTube, which is what he said, which of course is looking less and less likely. And that was the point of my responding to this original video, for those that are just catching into us now with part 3, was from Richard here, who I'm not familiar with, but I have seen a few of his videos on TikTok. He seems like a cool dude, but it seems when you read into some of these comments I've had on my channel, people have found him to be inconsistent and other things, it seems. And the comments on here, I mean, I think what the point I wanted to raise, because I hadn't, silly me, I hadn't even felt the need to read the comments. It was just this video alone was enough spidey sense red flags to me to say this doesn't make sense as a creator, as someone who ran and still does a media company, yeah, whose job it is to know this stuff, you know. And from my background in, you know, research analytics and statistical analysis and things like this, which helps me in survival and prepping and engineering, which is where I showed things like Social Blade numbers and the monetization checker to show he's not banned from YouTube, his ads are still active, there are no restrictions, and money is still coming through from YouTube. It's the fact that he's not also posting on seemingly Twitter or Instagram either, and the only explanation rational for that is that in fact, as it says here, these are the sort of things you'd expect from bail conditions, assuming and hate speech or incitement laws have been broken. So I was just asking what other people thought may be the reason, and it seems to have been something, since I've been asked so by so many people, what I think the reason is. Where is he? Why isn't he making videos? This is why I felt compelled to try and answer this question for people critically, logically, without a dog in the race, right? I don't subscribe to him. I don't learn from him. I don't teach to him. Do you know what I mean? I'm sort of nothing him, I suppose, in that way. Which is why I felt I was well placed. Yeah, I'd had one experience with him removing my comment when I'm trying to correct him on some information he wasn't delivering accurately. And so that was what I formed a lot of my opinion about him then. And but I don't have anything, as I mentioned before, nothing against him personally. I mean, this is just something that I keep getting emails to me, yeah, and comments on my videos, where's Funky Prepper, where's Funky Prepper? And even though I don't follow him, I do appreciate that other people do. And of course, any trouble that he's in, any stigma that he's creating, any trail of this kind of incitement or hate speech things, if that is the case, which we're not saying it is, it's looking like from what everybody else is saying, and my analysis of it is looking like that's just more likely, is the point. Yeah. Then it does reflect badly on me. Whether anyone else likes it or not, whether they want to hear it or not, it reflects badly on me. So I do have a dog in the race on that respect, because if people like that are going to start talking about the sort of things they're talking about in the way that they're talking about it, with what's going on in the political climate here in the UK at the moment, you ain't got to be a genius to figure out it ain't going to end well. And that's all I'm saying, is it just looks like it hasn't ended well, as predicted by people behind the scenes I've spoken to, saying if he's not careful, he's going to find himself with a knock at the door. So what does Pilgrim want to say? All I know is I have 30 clone accounts, you can't stop me. Okay. What do we need to stop you doing? Or how can we have a conversation that results in that not needing to be stopped, or whatever? Like I say, if you want to come on the show and talk to me about, if you know something that we don't, I really would love, I'd really love you to come and chat to me about it live right now. If there's something I'm missing, if there's something I don't know that you do, it would be lovely to have you come and talk to me live and educate us all. That's why we're here, man. It's an open forum, hence have your say. The clue's in the title of the video. So please do, Pilgrim. Yeah, really appreciate it, man. John Boy, thank you for joining the Discord crew. Red Wolf as well, thank you. Really appreciate you. And also, we got Sergeant Ghost Mamba. I'm not going to ask, but welcome to the Wolfpack, my man. Go and have a little play around. See all the stuff that's there for everybody. There are some moderators on the Discord server, so anyone who's getting leery, because it's always been a lovely, friendly place full of people that are like-minded and care about each other. So just keep that in mind when you're there, and, you know, become an even better place than it already is. So thank you to everybody who helping that to happen. So is Pilgrim coming on then to talk to me live about anything? It's difficult to keep up with the chat, but now I noticed there was stuff. What I noticed was I get a flag when people's comments are being removed. So there's obviously things are getting heated. I'm just trying to decipher what's going on. It's just easy if you've got something to say to me or about anything to do what we're talking about. You know, you can come on and chat to me live. That'd be really cool, man. Everyone will really appreciate it, and I know I will. And if we can make a new friend at the end of it as well, even better, right? We're in the same game here. One truth seeking, if he is missing due to a ban, then he would be in contact with other channels trying to get reinstated, 100%. Black Cats TV Pilgrim. Single prepper has lived in situations beyond most SHCF scenarios. Funky once was a part-time soldier and didn't last long with that. Thank you, Black Cats. Someone who's obviously followed me for a while and understands where I've come from. What couldn't you resist, Miss Worm? Oh, okay. But, you know, the whole point is, like I say, you know, if both people in the conversation agree, then one person isn't needed. So the idea is, if you want to come and talk to me live, now's the time to do it, Pilgrim. That's what we're here for. Nobody has anything to hide, only things to learn and perspectives to be changed and understandings to be had. That's why we're all here. That's what we're interested in. Yeah. And the more understanding I can help my people, right, my subscribers and my followers and those that trust me and are loyal to me, right, the way I can help them most when they're asking me what's happened to Funky Prepper is to say, let's talk about what's happened to Funky Prepper. Let's talk about what might have happened, what hasn't happened, and what the implications of what might have happened might be on other preppers and other creators and generally people in the UK on social media talking about certain things. I think it's such an important thing to talk about to protect everybody, including protecting people like Funky Prepper. Because if this is how he's come unstuck, if this is how he's become unstuck, then is it not even more important that we inform people that this is the real reason why so that other people don't fall foul of the same thing? Tell me if I'm wrong there, but that's how I'm seeing this. I'm worried as hell. Yeah. Everyone is, which is why they're asking me, and not because they're always necessarily just worried about Funky Prepper's own well-being. Even those that don't seem to, the majority of people don't seem to have much time for him recently. I don't know what he's done recently. Clearly something, otherwise he wouldn't have lost 1,000 subscribers right here in April. I mean, it's just not looking good is all, and I'm just saying it reflects on the entire industry, of which I'm involved in heavily, since I'm writing books for the industry. I'm designing products and bringing products to market for the prepping and survival industry. So believe me, I've got a dog in the race. Believe me, I don't want it all getting brought down. And if I can help one other prepper out there not get a knock at the door, surely... Did I do that right? True doesn't know who I am. There is some familiarity in the Black Cats TV, but I think you've changed your profile icon. Maybe I'm wrong completely. Maybe I'll come visit UK, we can talk soon. No, modern technology, man, we can do it right now on Discord. Yeah, through Discord, audio, chat. With microphone and everything, man. 2024. Whoosh, we got it all set. We could be waiting ages, man, if we're waiting for... Let's talk about it, man. Come on. Hold on. Are we... I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Are we saying that Pilgrim's not coming on? I thought that was the point. I don't know. I'm waiting around. I want to see. I'd love to talk to you, Pilgrim. Please, man. This is how we come to resolution. This is how we talk things out. This is how we come to understanding. This is how we learn new stuff. This is how we become more and more... This is how we become closer and closer to truth and accuracy, which is what I care about as a nerdy, weirdo, neurodivergent, slightly autistic, OCD type guy. I'm sorry, but that's what it is, and I'm sorry for some of those traits that people find annoying about me, but I'm just here trying to help people. And part of the best way you can help people is to give them understanding. You know what takes away fear is understanding. Most things that people fear are the things they don't understand. So this entire channel and my entire pursuit and quest is to help others gain understanding. Because the minute you have that, all the fear goes away. What do you think? I've wasted 350 odd pages of my time writing stuff to help this. This is like, you know, it's massive, right? And no one's paying me to do it. This channel isn't even monetized. Yeah. No one's paying me to do it. No investors, no sponsors, no nothing. Yeah. All I've got is the few people that want to support me to keep the lights on because I try and create as much value as possible. And I have to mention them now because I do have no sponsors, no networks, no paid adverts, no monetization, no external funding, no affiliates or partners or nothing, man. Yeah. And these are some of the ways that people help the channel, right? Patreon's a great one because, of course, we have our VIP after-party chats on the Discord server, which is just one of the benefits of Patreon. But as special, because I love yous, we're doing it for anybody who wants to join us in the after-party, even tonight. Yes, you heard that right, even tonight. Even Pilgrims welcome to come and talk in the after-party tonight. 1-to-1, man. What a treat. So come and join us, right? Patreon's a great way to help. And these are the people that are doing it right now. Thank you to each and every one of you. Literally couldn't do it without you. This is a great way of me to thanking you with our VIP crew that are helping us do what we do and couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much, everyone. And of course, if you want to join in the fun, you want to help keep things rocking, These are the ways you can help. All links in the description. You know how we do. So thank you to all of you. Right. How are we getting on? I'm in a mod. I'm a mod too. You can allow any message you want. Mod, stop the bullshit. I don't know, dude. Bear with me, Pilgrim. I've only just started looking at the chat because I've been waffling, and I apologise that what I've been waffling about, Pilgrim, isn't what you wanted me to waffle about. I've been talking to you for the last hour. Your mods keep blocking me. Okay, I apologise for that, man, but that's usually a reason why I do trust my mods implicitly. So I do apologise. This is the experience you've had, Pilgrim. This isn't what I aim for. We like to have, as the thumbnail says, have your say, Pilgrim. I'm sorry you don't feel like you've been able to have your say tonight. Sorry, I'm used to free speech. We don't live like bitches over. I know, man. It's bad news. This is what I'm saying. I hate the censorship more than anyone. And I'm really sorry you feel like you've been censored. There's clearly going to be a reason why. But like I say, if you want to come and talk to me about something to do with Funky Prepper, if there's something that we should all know that we don't, yeah. They keep blocking me. You're so fake. Okie dokie. Why won't you accept his invite to talk on mic though? Yeah, I'd really like to. I think it'd be a great way to clearing anything up. If there's been some misunderstandings anywhere, it'd be a perfect opportunity to clear it up right now. It'd be great, man. Come on. Everyone will love it. There's probably lots of people out there that are really big supporters of Funky Prepper. This is the problem, that it's easier to fool someone than to convince someone they've been fooled. You know? I'm not suggesting you've been fooled. I'm just saying I appreciate the fact that that psychological concept exists, that it's easier to fool someone than to convince them they've been fooled. This is what is so difficult to quote unquote wake people up, right? So what I'm saying is that I appreciate I'm already going to be on the back foot with you, Pilgrim, because I'm suggesting that Funky Prepper, what's happened to him isn't what he's claiming has happened to him. And that's not what you agree with, but that was the idea of having the poll so that you could say, I disagree with that. I think it's banned from YouTube as claimed. That's totally cool, man. Like I say, if both people in a conversation agree, then one isn't needed. I really would like to learn what I need to learn. If I need to learn anything, Pilgrim, I'm open, man. Open book. Tell me, Pilgrim, not insulting UK. Whoosh. And what languages? Again, I put it American pack members. I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to click that one. Oh my goodness, look at that. Pilgrim is as brave as Funky is prepared. Let's not be... The whole point is we don't do escalation, we don't do baiting, and we don't do derogatory things, because that just ends in people's egos getting hurt. And then when people respond to it, even though by responding to it you're admitting that that's sort of triggered something in you, so there must be something there to be triggered in the first place, which is why, you know, he who angers you conquers you. You ever heard that one, Pilgrim? He who angers you conquers you. And it's because what happens inside your brain when someone says something that triggers you is because there's some truth based in it. That's the discomfort. If you live your life by truth, to the point where you don't have to look over your shoulder and you can live your life as an open book and do lives whenever you want, there's a great freeing feeling. If people want to understand how to be free, that is it. Most people got it all wrong. It's not prepping and things like that that make you free and living in the wilderness to be free. It's about being free from your conscience. That's the biggest freedom you can ever get yourself. When you feel free of your conscience, you're not looking over your shoulder, you've never scammed anyone, you've never ripped anyone off, you've never taken any money from anyone you never desperately needed, and you've given things back when you said you were going to. If you've lived your life like that, you haven't betrayed people, you haven't harmed people, you haven't bullied people, you haven't controlled or manipulated people, you haven't assaulted people. When you live your life like that, take it from me, that is the most pure form of freedom anyone can ever experience. That's what people should be pursuing. That should be the type of freedom that people should pursue. right? Because once you get that right, you can live your life true to you, giving you all the joy, all the happiness in every moment, even in the worst moments of a crisis, right? Everybody can have this perspective. Everybody can live this life. This isn't some monk thing that I'm trying to... No, this is just literally living your life in a way where you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to worry about people flooding diatribe into your comment section like we just saw on, you know, this guy... Oh, sorry, what am I doing? On this guy's channel, Richard, and you look at the comment section, and this is the guy who is the advocate or the speaker on behalf. He's acting as the conduit speaker of Funky Prepper, since I'm having so many people asking me, where's he gone, do you know where he's gone, have you seen any videos from him, assuming that because I'm a prepper and I'm a prepper channel, I must know, right? And the one person who's the one person coming out here to spread the word that he's not logged himself out of the admin, right? You look at the comment section, and the only people that would be attracted to this video, given the topic, given the tags, given the SEO, given the keywords on it and everything else, and the links to his donation, the only people this is aimed at is his subscribers. And yet when you come here and look at the comments, every single one is negative, it would seem. I didn't even see this yesterday, don't forget. That was why I wanted to come and do today's show, because yesterday I'd planned to also go through the comments and see if there's anything anywhere that we can derive and do it together. Or I did the whole thing together live, so that I didn't... The after party the night before was when the topic came up, and the more I started like thinking off the top of my head and all the reasons why that didn't make sense, the more I said, let's stop now. This always works better when I do this live fresh without any, you know, trying to script anything. It never works for me, right? I need to do my investigative, analytical process that my brain goes through naturally the way it likes to do it. And unfortunately, that's live, fresh, when I haven't seen it before, right? The minute I try and plan something, don't forget, yeah? Everyone has a plan until they get a punch in the face, as Mike Tyson would say. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. This is the sort of thing that people out there are finding out every day. Hence the FAFO. F around and find out. All we're asking here is this what has happened? Because if it is, then I'm afraid Darren, yeah, the Funky Prepper, is going to need to act and serve to the rest of everybody out there as to what can happen if certain lines are crossed, if that is the case. That's all. It's what you call prophylactics. Yeah? Self-preservation, that's why we're all here, isn't it? And if self-preservation to me means maintaining my life and my channel or my freedom by understanding, here we are, we're back to the understanding again. If I understand what the laws are, if I understand what the rules are, and I understand what the consequences are for going outside of that, or even painting outside the lines of that, then I'm in a better position to not find out the way potentially Funky Prepper has found out. Is that not fair enough? That's why we're here. That's what we're doing here. Tracy J in the house. Freedom is a state of mind, a state of being. To live without ego is freedom, and the effect of freedom is inner peace. 100%. Yeah? Like I say, I don't care who's right, I care what's right. Jesus. Why do you think they put erasers on the end of pencils? Right? Because people make mistakes. Don't forget, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Right? I'm really sorry, I don't know, because we're on this topic, there's all these really cheesy things I'm coming out with, but I'm not meaning for them to be cheesy, I'm just saying they're relevant. There's reason why these quotes and these concepts and these methodologies have been invented by people in the past, far cleverer, a million times cleverer than you or I. But they're still true today. Why? Because of the human condition. And we all suffer from that. Yeah? It's about helping each other so we don't fuck up. We don't need to fuck up. We're all here to limit the number of ways and times we fuck up together, because fucking up in our business means what? Lights out, curtains, logged out of the admin. Yeah? And that's not what I'm aiming for. And I'm sure that's not what you lot are aiming for either. So thank you to each and every one of you who has hit the like button. I've appreciated you all being here. I've waited long enough and I've stalled for you, Pilgrim, as long as I could before people are going to start getting bored of me ranting about nothing to kill time, just in case on the slight off chance you were indeed wanting to come and voice your concerns you had, or knowledge you have that you would like to share, or insider information that you think would be helpful to everyone, to come and talk to me live. But that doesn't seem to have happened. We do have it down here. You'll see we've got the live guests. If you go here and I see you in there, I can drag you into this live connect, and at that point we're live. Boyfriend or girlfriend or in-between friend or whatever you identify friend as. I can't be more open and thingy-bob as that, man. That's the only way I know how to be. Like Tracy J says, man. Yeah, you gotta be gaining your inner peace, and then there's no reason to be conquered by people by being angered by them, right? Maybe Funky watched the vid, how to make people miss you by disappearing from the radar. Yeah. What is it about heart grows fonder, innit? Absence makes the heart grow fonder, is it? I didn't really want to get above the 3-hour mark because I've got a feeling, I can't remember if it's 3 hours or 4 hours when you're streaming. Afterwards, it's difficult to cut out the breaks because I cut out the countdown at the beginning, which allows notifications to go out, people to get a cup of tea, get settled, get in the chat, and me get lights set up right for 3 minutes at the beginning, and then the break times allowing us time to go and get a refreshment brew. Cheers to you. Merch available, link in the description. So it's totally, utterly not what I planned tonight's show to be, but I knew I was going to need to be flexible because I knew whatever had happened last night, between last night today, how people are going to feel, things they've gone and looked at, things they've gone and watched, and then come back. And it was important to give people a place that they can come back and feel free to voice their opinions on things, just in the same way as Richard did here. Is this my one? This is his one. Yeah, Richard's video where, again, he gave people a place to speak freely about how they feel about Funky Prepper, their concern about him, what they think about his disappearance and where he may be, and what they think about him as a prepper overall. Now, I can only go on what the internet says. I can only pass over the sentiment that appears to be there in regard to Funky Prepper. And so I don't wish him any ill. On the contrary, I hope he's just fine and he's kicking it in the Caribbean. He's made a whole new life for himself, rather than the thing that it looks like it more likely is. Because, like I say, if it is the thing that I think is most likely and others appear to too, then it is a real big problem for everybody living here in the UK. And it means that everybody's going to have to be extremely careful and mindful, right, of how they go about, you know. And I'm fortunate because that's just not my style in the first place anyway, is the problem, because obviously having visited 40 plus countries and lived in 4 or 5 different countries around the world in extremely diverse places like Southeast Asia and the Middle East and stuff, I don't share the same view as he does on immigration. I know there's some problems with the way it's being done. A lot of people are talking about that. But overall, as a globalized society that we're becoming, there are going to come points in time through our evolution in our globalized culture now that's becoming more and more. Believe me, I don't want that to be the case. You look at homogenous nations versus non-homogenous nations and you can draw certain conclusions and so on. But if that's just the way things are going, then that's just the way things are going. And you've got to understand how you need to fit into that. And whether that's how you fit into that legally, how you fit into that mindset wise, or how you fit into that vocally out loud, you need to work on that because it's not going away. It's getting more and more. And so I want to stop people coming unstuck and finding out. If somebody feels like I'm here to do anything other than that, then I suggest you rewatch yesterday's and today's right? Viewed through the lens of the fact that you are a YouTube creator in that same space, and there is a potential that a big, dark, gloomy curtain, another one, is going to come down on this industry because people are pushing the limits of where they're not being mindful of how things can be taken when you're in an influential position with more than 100,000 subscribers. It's just the way it is, man. And anything less than that is callous. Terry Parkinson, welcome to the chat. So what we need to do then is we need to call it on the votes, because I've stalled enough time now to give people an opportunity to get their last option for a vote in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot it so we can capture it for historic purposes and share it on the Discord community server. It's a great place so that people who are watching this after we've gone live, they won't see the poll. And so the only way for them to see the results and catch up with that is on the Discord server community group, which you can follow completely free of charge. And the great thing about it is, although YouTube doesn't always send notifications to people, it does a little bit more when you do the bell notifications all on the subscribe, near the subscribe thing. But the great thing about Discord is when I do the announcements for the shows that I'm scheduling, you will always get them relentlessly, right? So anyway, main hangout, poll results. So let's see if people agree. This is how it goes. What do you think has happened to Funky Prepper version 2? And it looks like the overwhelming majority is arrested by the Popo and on bail conditions. Hence, that's why we haven't heard from him. He doesn't have a phone, he doesn't have a laptop, and neither does his wife. So we're talking 50% think that, and the rest is spread quite evenly amongst kicking it in the Caribbean, personal health issues, and banned from YouTube, as claimed, is actually the second lowest option. Now, what's interesting is when we compare that to yesterday, I didn't call the results before the show because I didn't want it to influence people. You know, things like the Ash conformity experiment, yeah, where people just go along with the crowd to feel like they fit in. Generally, Sigma personalities don't care about fitting in, so we don't care about things like the Ash conformity experiment. We would have aced that. Anyway, what do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? This was the first time, and you'll see very different numbers. The majority was actually considering ban from YouTube as claimed, 46%. And 38% arrested by bail. And virtually, actually, only 1 or 2 people had voted for kicking it in the Caribbean and personal. So it's interesting the way that's changed, so that now we're like only 18% of people, rather than the majority, feel that it's indeed he's been banned from YouTube. So thank you to everybody, because of course this is how we come to our speculative conclusions, or our tentative temporary conclusions, without making judgment, but to make speculation in order to protect ourselves from making similar mistakes. That's how we learn. That's how we ensure we don't make mistakes, by learning from the mistakes of others. What does that make you? A wise man. And man being short for human, not as in male. Mankind. Humankind, right? I don't know who that Black Cats guy is, but he's a good looking fellow. What did I miss? Oh dear. It's great to see you, Silverado. I'm probably way behind on the thingy bobs, but I needed to get the vote done and call it. So let's end the poll for the live vote. Thank you again to everybody who's joined in with that. I've tried to do this job. I call it a job, but it is because it needs to be talked about. No one else seems to want to. And because it's getting annoying, there's so many people saying, where's Funky Prepper? I just felt like we needed to do this. And I'm really sorry for anyone who feels like I haven't done this as fairly as I felt I could. I do have an issue with the original trying to correct him on very critical information that could be quite dangerous, and then being banned trying to do that. And it's interesting that since revealing that, which I was already uncomfortable revealing but I felt like I needed to be transparent, that, you know, if I don't have an issue with him because I don't follow him or anything, and very, very few, if any of my Sigma Prepper subscribers follow him. So it'd never been a thing before. And it's just recently where there's been some Funky Prepper subscribers come out and asking me and things who I didn't realize followed him. And so I just felt like I needed to put that at ease. And there is no way of doing this kind of a video without seeming to someone through the lens of something being biased. But the whole point of what we do here is analysis. We just ask the questions. We are open and honest about what we feel doesn't make sense, what doesn't add up, what other people are saying, what the collective thought is around it, and what it means to us, more importantly. In the Valley of the Blind, the one-eyed man is king. 100%. Thank you, Purple Flurple. Great to see you. They put rubbers, which is what British people call erasers. They put rubbers on the end of, because Americans don't call rubbers for a reason. Perhaps. We won't get into that. They put rubbers on the end of pencils because it's illegal to stab people with choices. Popped in, popping back out. Oi, oi, hunker down UK storm, isn't it? When I went to go and get my cup of tea, it was properly blowing. Love to each and every one of you. You're such a wonderful bunch. Prepping wouldn't be worth it if I didn't have you guys following along with it. Oh dear, thank you so much. You've all been so wonderful, and I really appreciate those lovely comments as well. When I was reading through the Daily Survival, I was on the phone to her earlier when I took Hugo Bear for a walk to the shop earlier today, and I called her up just to catch up and see what her thoughts were on my idea for tonight's video instead of the live in the lab, which is what I'd originally intended. But that was just because I was up until 7 AM and doing the after party and working on some stuff, and then I got to sleep and only had 5 hours sleep. I was like, do you know what, Daily Survival? I don't know if I can... I don't even know if I want to tidy up my lab area to the point where I can even put a camera in my lab area to do a live in the lab tonight. And my Chinese diesel heater needs to be serviced, and I need to change the gasket in it, some other things which I'm going to do live so you can see how to do it, right? But I haven't had time to go and get a jerry can full of diesel. I haven't had time to get the area cleared up. So I thought, you know what? Because of everything that's been going on with all the comment sections everywhere about the Funky Prepper, I thought tonight's show needs to be just to recap on that, to cover it off, to allow people who've had their conclusions since then or their ideas since then to come and share them. And of course, last night, I just felt like the video last night, I was just blasting through all the evidence or receipts and things like this to justify why I felt what had happened might have happened. And I realized I barely included the live, the chat. So I wanted to correct that today. So I'm really sorry this has been such a long video. I know it's been a slog for everyone, but I just don't want to have to touch this topic again, basically. And I felt by doing that, and by doing, you know what I mean? And by just doing it so that I've answered people's comments in that video from yesterday as well. I know I've done it verbally, which is a little bit of a cheat, but you know what I mean? Thank you, Dr. Gonzo. But yeah, strictly bed at 2 AM tonight, says UK and Prepper. Oh, talking of which, I hope I haven't bored too many people. I notice, I'll do the thank you to everybody who's joined the Discord community group for Sigma Prepper. Really look forward to catching up with you over there. So right now, when we finish the show, we're going to be going over there to the after party. We'll have a little catch up in there and talk about what you want to talk about. You know, invitation is still open to Pilgrim. If he doesn't want to talk out loud for everybody, then he's welcome to come and talk to me one-on-one. Well, with obviously other people listening who are going to be in the after party voice chat there. You know, the offer still stands, ma'am. Open book here. Yeah, open pause. Welcoming you with open pause. Funky Prepper as well, man. I wouldn't want anything less than for him to come on the show and let us know he's all safe and tell me I'm wrong. Don't think I want this to be the case. On the contrary, man, it's like not good, right? There's 139,000 reasons out there why it's not good. Jeez, man. So anyway, thank you to everyone for your patience. Thank you for dealing with my weirdness and the way I deliver stuff. And you know what I mean? This is just how it is. I'm sorry this is the way I have to do it. I hope you've enjoyed it for those that have, been here the course. I'm sorry for the moderators who feel obliged to have to stay the course, even though they'd rather be doing something else instead on the weekend. But thank you so much of everyone that's been here. I'm sorry if I've missed people's chats as I've been whipping through. It's very difficult for me here. I've got so many screens and buttons to push. It's not even funny. I'm a one-man band. I don't have any staff. I don't have any team. I don't have any managers. I don't have any camera crew. I don't have anything. Me, myself, and I, which is what it's all about being a Sigma, is because we learn the skills that we need as polymaths, as autodidacts. Right. Anyway, on that note, let's go and get into it for the after party. Can't wait to see all you lovely, wonderful people over there. So please don't disappoint me and I get over there. There's only one person. That would be embarrassing now, wouldn't it? Hit the like button if you haven't done already. It'd be rude not to. I've been Drew the Super Prepper. You've been such a wonderful bunch and patient with me. What can I say? Love, peace and progress. To the back.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing. Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed.